Hello, everybody, and welcome, after just a little bit of a technical snafu, to the actual final episode of the Party Makes Things Worse Song of the Reliquary. Thank you so much if you've been following us for this long voyage into the terrible darkness that lies beneath the Tomb Desert. Our adventurers have gone on a long and circuitous journey from the tall city of Bastion high in the mountains all the way to the heart of the Tomb Desert, down into the core of the Reliquary, this strange sealed city, this metropolitan almost area of undead once sworn in service to the Vemeral, a triune group of mage slayers working for the Deathwoken Primacy, a long lost, destroyed, and apparently quite nefarious and evil group that once sought to maybe not take over the world, but to sort of have the world do whatever they want whenever they want, which is not a great way to get things done.
Co-opt.
To co-opt the whole world. Yeah, you know how it is. Now, they have journeyed, they have made allies and friends along the way, they have slain the three Vemeral, who are in some strange weapon-bound forms, still somewhat alive, and are now at the heart of all things. They have traveled deep into a tunnel that is flooded with impossibly loud sounds. They have carved their way into the very core of this place, and now go to face whatever it is that awaits them. The chorus. This sort of mythical thing you know very little about, this strange project or creation of the witch, a creature you slew many sessions ago. And I guess we're just going to see how it all kind of works out. Michael's camera's in the wrong place. Let me grab that really quick. Nicole is with us. She is just having some long-term sort of computer-based problems. So, alack, that was the reason for our late beginnings. But all is well. That is just the Piper making one last attempt to not have to face the party.
Seriously? Like, the Piper has something against Nicole?
It's deeply personal.
IRL, yeah. Has broken the barrier between our fantasy world and our real one.
Damn it. I mean, it's not what you
The real world becoming the Monster of the Week game, while our characters in real world are playing D&D.
It's too good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's simply too good. I do think there is still a small chance that I will insist that when we start up, I'm not gonna say it. All right, let's hop in the space then. First thing I need from everybody is your last character fact. We're gonna learn one more thing about each of these characters, and then you're not allowed to tell us anything about your character for the rest of today's stream, I guess. Let's get one last fact about each character. Who's ready?
All right. I think Hilvers just thought of it. His favorite board game is called Stacks of Ether, where you have various crystals and cups and things, and you have to stack up a tower out of all these odd shaped things, and whoever's gets the highest height is the one who wins. And then you get to pick your first little array of little objects for your starting bench, and then you have to roll against the other player to get another next wave of things to start crafting it. So it's a little bit of a strategy, a little bit of a geometric architecture game.
It's like Jenga Carcassonne. The strange, sort of riddlesome and difficult game. That's some real... The Guardians, being functionally immortal, would eventually come up with board games that no mortal mind could comprehend, and it sounds like this was one of their early efforts. Who else has a character fact?
I've got one for Harold. Harold, if he survives this adventure, is probably going to resign from his position because he did steal this armor, and he's going to get into a lot of trouble for that. And beyond that, he's made a lot of progress here, more than he's ever done sitting behind the desk. He's sort of gotten addicted to the adrenaline rush of hero work. So he will probably be hanging up the cape. And by hanging it up, I do mean the cape he stole, he is hanging it on his shoulders and leaving town. So that's going to be pretty soon for Harold, if he lives.
In our eventual Song of the Reliquary Season 2... Harold will. That's our. If he survives at the end credits, the last thing will be Harold Vale will return in Song of the Reliquary.
Herald of Justice.
I like
Yeah, it's inevitable. All right, who's up next?
Yes, I'll go.
All right.
So this is a lemon would never live freely. So everyone that's listening to this must take this to their grave.
Oh gosh.
His true name. Lemon wasn't born Lemon. That is his nickname, as we all know. His actual name is his first name Lance. Last name it probably won't be a surprise. Iron Arrow.
Lance Iron Arrow. What a hard-boiled fantasy detective name.
Lance
you were
Iron
born
Arrow.
with.
So Lemon is from like a family of archers, of fletchers of some sort. Wow.
And he didn't pick up the arrow, but he definitely picked up the gun.
Oh, I see. So it was kind of a hot topic. It was a disgrace when you said, I'm actually going to take these things that go 9,000 times faster.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Somebody tried to teach you instinct aiming, and you went, iron sights have been invented. I don't need to do that.
Good.
There's no reason for that. All right.
But
Very
no,
good.
no one may ever know that his first name is Lance.
Lance, I know it's extremely good because the assembled forces of the Piper did not know your real name, as you were addressed by them as Lemon as well. So I guess this is actually Lemon in a previous campaign none of us were there for sealed his name with the 7 sigils of Kamajan. Like his name is bound in chains in a vault somewhere, never to be heard again. All right.
When we re-release the video, me saying his name is going to be blurred out.
Static, yeah, for sure. All right. Cut me off one final slice of beige.
It's Beach! I think that in hoping that Beach survives, but if he does, right? No promises. If Beach survives, I think that he'll follow Harold wherever he goes. And I think that he will try as best he can to leave his life of, some would say, crime and nefariousness behind. But that's never gonna
Debauchery.
really happen. And when I see Beej and Harold, I imagine Beej will, against his will, help Harold in his, do-goodery.
Oh yeah.
Heroics.
But I think there will always be part of Beach that will be a little bit, he's a little bit sketchy.
Oh yeah.
Scamp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Beach
But
will always
he
be
is-
getting into trouble.
This is, the closest he's come, to being in a bad spot, in a bad way. He doesn't really care too much about his own life, like he does, obviously, but not, like, in the long term. But now that, Beach with a B, is, at risk because of him, he does feel a little bit bad.
Just a
bad.
smidge.
So it's like a little bit.
Beach is like, bare minimum one of us needs to live, because someone needs to go hand 100,000 gold. Somebody needs to go hand a couple dozen pounds of gold.
Somebody
to a
better get
monster.
out. Or Beach is done for.
One more name on the list of the bottom line's kills will be Beach the Younger.
It'll be Beach the Younger. Not Beach the Younger, no! Beach with a B. Alright, with that, it is time for us to begin. So last time you all dealt with the last of these walking prisons. The last of these kind of... Gosh, I almost said oubliette. Also a good name, not what they're called. They're called Bastilles. The last of the Bastilles, the Woad, and you released the druid inside. Immediately, Harold came to realize when you had previously thought you knew who this person was, you had gained some, cursory detail, spoken to some other people. In seeing them, Harold suddenly did remember the history of this person and realized that you were all in terrible, mythic danger. This is a being that had famously killed any human or mortal race, essentially. That was not an animal that had gotten too close to them, but blissfully, thankfully, it just sunk into the ground, vanishing to cause some kind of terrible fracas somewhere else. With that, you have dealt with this creature. and only one thing remains, and that is to go deeper down below. What's the plan? You're moving in. There's these like bright glowing crystals as you're making your way by, but because you are all sort of enshrouded in a circle of silence, if there is any additional effect here, you don't know about it.
Hilver is going to pull out the one of his other flashcards that says injuries and just hold it up and show it to everyone.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, let's go around the horn here. How is everybody looking? How's Lemon looking? Let's start there. Is Lemon untouched?
Lemon's touched a little bit.
Lemon got touched.
He was touched.
Lemon got touched.
Okay, so mildly injured. How deep into the HP?
Do you want to say like?
Yeah, just say the numbers.
or-
Let's get the
okay.
because we got healers and stuff. We got to figure this out.
63 out of 84.
63 out of 84. Okay, so like a quarter down almost. Just about there. All right, Harold. How's Harold doing?
47 out of 68.
So been better. About a
Been better.
third.
Been
About a
better.
third between a third and a quarter. All right, Hilver.
17 out of 59.
Not what you
So
want to
quite
hear.
bloodied.
Not what you want to hear. That's a fact. All right, and how about Beej? How's Beej doing?
Beach
Look at him.
is 38 out of 59.
He's okay.
Really similar to Harold. And similar to Lemon.
So everybody, it sounds like, is fairly injured at this point. So, what is the plan as you all are continuing? You are in the effects of the sphere of silence. You don't know what the state of the sound outside of that sphere is. You're surrounded by these kind of glowing crystals. And as you continue down, you begin to see that sort of disgusting fleshy growth that you saw at the heart of the orchard is here as well and seems to kind of fill the rest of the tunnel.
Harold is gonna shove like tie a cloth around his head to cover his ears for a second, and he's gonna step out of the silence or have Beej push the silence up a little bit so I'm out of it and I can make physical contact with Beej to cast Warding Bond.
Okay.
So that way we have some protection against the silence falling.
Do we kiss on the lips in order to make contact?
No, I just put my hand on your shoulder.
That with no
Aw.
camera
But I've
is
had it.
20 times funnier. Just do we kiss on the lips? Just coming in from nowhere is powerful. All right, Harold, so you sort of stuff a bunch of cotton into your ears. You make your way up, out a little bit. You have the deafened condition extremely temporarily. As you step out, I need you to... There's no way you're going to fail. God himself couldn't make you fail. This wisdom save with advantage that you are about to make. It can't happen.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
That was Oh, I'm on Beej.
Your
That was
bonus
really
is so
scary for a
high.
second.
I have to believe.
What are you trying to say about Beej?
You got a +0 to wisdom saves.
Okay.
I got a 16.
Okay, a 16's over a 15. Harold, you reach out, you cast that spell, and you feel relatively stable. I will say, you can hear the song echoing through the sort of ear protection you have. And while it is crushingly and uncomfortably loud, it is not as loud as you were afraid it was going to be. It's not as loud, certainly, as it was earlier when it was shaking the dust and pebbles of the floor of the tunnel.
Making people bleed out of their ears and stuff, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I pat on the shoulder and then I jump back into the silence.
Okay, you are back, shrouded in silence.
Phew. I point back behind me, I shake my head, and I do the throat cut sound. And I pull the cotton out.
All right.
I will, I guess, beckon everyone around to me. And then like start like having my hands start glowing with like that little healing stuff.
All right.
And I guess use like hand of healing on each of them once.
All right, so prioritize yourself and Beej.
Yeah. Oh, I just wanted to do them, and then I've got ones for me too. So that's 9 for Harold, 9 for Beej, and
Yay.
7 for Lemon.
Okay. All right, so everybody gets a little boost. Almost a full 10.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. 56 out of 68 now, so.
All right, not bad, not
All right.
bad, not bad. And then you're going to heal yourself a little more, Hilver.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
Hilver
will
starts
use the last
blasting
ability.
himself full of radiant healing energy.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any other final preparations before you continue?
Yeah, I'm gonna do something.
Lemon
give
meticulously
myself-
disassembles and oils his gun. It takes
Just
35
to be
minutes.
sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna
100%.
heal myself for 12 using my lay on hands,
Sure, you dump another 12 points.
and I'm gonna do 12 more for Beach as well.
Aw.
Nice.
So we're at full now.
all right.
I'm going to. I'm gonna use speed recovery and regain health points. I'm gonna pop two D10s.
I think that Surat is down a few, but not too many. I also
Kinda
don't
like,
know
what,
if
400 or
we
500?
managed to keep track of Surat's health between sessions. Did we manage to do that?
The wiki's gonna be so upset.
The wiki's gonna be absolutely pissed.
I'm using
The answer is
2
we
health
did,
dice.
but it was on Nicole's computer and it's not connected to the
You
internet.
see that at Surat, suddenly it's really strange. You watch as the hand that's holding the hammer begins to flex, and a single rune, there's only one on the hammer, glows brightly and then dims. It will clearly not lighten again, and it's crazy you didn't notice it the first time, and all of Surat's wounds heal. That's weird.
Ron,
That's
did you
really
do
crazy.
that in your storage space? That's cool.
Surat looks
Yeah.
as confused as all of you. They also didn't. What? That's great. No one saw this seal.
Nobody
That's
knows.
wild. It's perfect. Wow. All right, cool. So Surat's at full HP.
I used 2 of my hit die and got 12 health back, so I'm at 82.
So we're taking
Oh,
are we taking a
We're
short
feeling
rest, or did
good.
you burn some ability?
No, I can use my speedy recovery as a bonus action. I can
Fantastic.
expend my health pool dice.
Okay, speedy recovery
Nice.
from Lemon. With that, does anybody have anything else they want to do before we continue?
I'm ready.
I will check maybe the inside of this Bastille if we have like a little bit of time.
What are you looking for?
Just any sort of like residual, maybe like magic left behind by the entity that was in here, or maybe any like healing sort of like residue maybe that we can bring along with us.
Sure, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
All right. That's a 23.
With a 23, I will say you all watch as Hilver begins to pull apart some of the metal plates of this Bastille. Despite only having encountered 2 of them, Hilver seems to have quickly adapted a little bit to how they work and gotten some understanding. And so you get 2 things. One is just an interesting piece of information. As you previously guessed, you are watching these things improve with each version. Zariax is definitely the oldest, especially now that you are looking at this one. The one that had this kind of like distorted form of this druid inside. It is much more advanced than Zariax was. But despite them only being maybe, 10 to 30 years apart, the 2 of them, this is like a really impressive leap in technology. In like magical maneuvering and the metal that is used. Eventually, you do find it occurs to you that these Bastilles must be able to heal. Right? They're big walking magic items, so they can't be forged, right? You can't heat it up anymore because it's basically immune to damage when it exists as a magic item, not as a creature. So eventually, Hilver, you find this like pretty brightly glowing element within it. You're not entirely sure what it is, and as you manage to kind of like rip it out, this is essentially a mechanical potion of greater healing. So somebody can like grip it in their hand and use the vital energy that has been sapped out of the druid and placed inside. I'm gonna turn and grab some last minute notes.
All right, and I'll be back in 1 minute.
Alrighty. This is the problem with having a big stack of notes behind you, is you're like, which of these is important? Oh, I dropped some notes. Not like this. There it is. I'm gonna just drop the rest on that same pile because now I'm gonna have to fix them anyways. All right, cool. Let me just double check. See, Sorvin is the name of the druid that you freed. Sorvin is this bent and altered form. All right. So, as Hilver runs off to let a dog out to pee, does anybody else do anything else before you proceed? This is the 5th time I have said that.
We're ready this time.
All right. With that, you all take a moment, steel yourselves, and continue your journey down further and further into this place. You see that, sure enough, the ground beneath your feet eventually is replaced entirely with this strange flesh-like growth that you encountered earlier, and you can see all across the walls and the ceiling and the floor in certain places, you can see empty cocoons. You can see places where these creatures were changed, where they seemed to almost take a sound bath in this tunnel that is so purely flooded with the song of the Reliquary, this bent and slightly turned version of the song of the Piper that the Vemeral used to their own ends. Eventually, as you continue, however, you begin to notice that the small vibration tremoring of the song has stopped. It slows, it doesn't stop suddenly. It dissipates, and you become aware of the fact that while perhaps you feared that it was centered on this chamber in front of you, it is centered in that tunnel. That tunnel, it seems, had a very specific purpose that you begin to intuit, especially with like Hilver's continuous arcana checks. That was a place for the Votai, the servants of the Vemeral, to be turned, to be made functionally immortal, at least in terms of dying of old age, and to bend themselves to the vision of the Piper in these long centuries where they didn't have the Vemeral to lead them, and all they had was the strange, ecstatic religion that comes from over 1,000 years of isolation and prayer and worship of this strange kind of outsider god. So eventually you get the sense that the song most likely is no longer filling the chamber, and you begin to see a end to the tunnel in the form of a shockingly bright magenta light, like a bright, electric, unnatural pink that begins to echo down and grows brighter and brighter until eventually you can see an exit that leads assumably into some larger and more terrible space. And you hear shuffling and you hear singing, but not the sort of seismic, spell-driven song that you had been hearing. Something that sounds like it is being sung by a chorus of voices, dozens singing in perfect unison. Bass baritones mixing with higher sopranos and middling altos, a really, for how strange and bewildering the melody is, a quite beautiful kind of concert-esque sound echoes from ahead. What do you do? It just occurred to me you wouldn't know that. You're all in a big silence bubble. One of you, and I don't know who it is, can feel the rhythm. You just know. It's probably Harold. Harold has been pretty exposed.
I was going to say probably Beej is a bard, but yeah, Harold makes sense too.
You know what I think it is?
Like, this sounds good.
I think Harold starts tapping his foot to a song that no one can hear, and Beej is the one that notices.
The finger wag.
Have you ever watched
Finger
somebody
wag.
with headphones in and you realize that they are walking to the beat of the music they are listening to? It dawns on Beej first and then slowly everybody that Harold has begun to walk to the beat of a song he cannot hear.
God, that guy really walks to the beat of his own drum.
Actually, to somebody else's drum. To an eldritch horror beyond mortal ken.
Wow.
I'm gonna keep moving forward. I'm gonna
Okay.
take like point in the sphere just so I'm up there,
Okay.
weapon drawn, and that's it.
Alright. And I will give the potion of greater healing probably to Beej as a backup thing. I'll just like motion to it and just be like,
Silence, is that a 20 or a 30-foot radius sphere?
I think it's 20.
I'll pull it up.
As Harold, you sort of fall into the front, you see that Sarat, in this sort of massive muscular form, also begins to head to the front.
It's 20.
Oh, I gave it to the wrong person.
Oh.
All right, so everybody can now hop into roll 20 because you are about to see what I'm going to start describing right now. As you make your way out from the mouth of the tunnel and you begin to see what is ahead of you, you see a pretty titanic, almost octagonal room with 4 kind of incredibly large altars inside, each of which is giving off bright light, and a couple of pools of this sickly, kind of green-looking bile. But all of that is eclipsed by the figure in the center of the room. You see a titanic shape, a huge creature, dozens of bodies fused at all different odd angles from limbs, some of them rotting away to bones, but somehow still standing. Others still quite fleshy and able to maintain the others. You see that some of them are grabbing on. You see that maybe decades, centuries ago, they began to hold up their brethren whose muscles were failing, and now those limbs have fused into shape. And so before you, you see a creature so completely contorted and bent by the will of the Piper that it is utterly unfamiliar to you now. You see a small army of Votai fused and bound together, all mouths wide, singing in perfect harmony. And all throughout the room, the vibration of that singing, you can see rippling across small waves on the green pools. And even though you are silenced, even though you cannot hear it, you begin to see visions of your past. Echoes of the time that you spent that led you here, swirling in your mind, like how memories will naturally flit through your mind, but aggressive and targeted. You feel all of those moments touched by this thing, and somehow this monster, this creature, this being, whatever it is, has some profound connection to all of you and to your past. That guiding hand that Lemon specifically felt with that successful check 1 or 2 sessions ago, you all feel now manifest in this moment. And I need everybody to go ahead and roll initiative. It's time! It's finally happening!
The final showdown.
The big gross bad guy that I wrote like 9.5 months ago at last was present.
Roll for me. Roll for me. No, on the computer, crazy.
Are you sure? Rolled
Don't
really
be
well.
nuts. That's Beej's. That's his bread and his butter.
Beige uses digital dice
It's right there.
exclusively.
That's the only thing that's worked. Gosh, you know what? Maybe it's because you pressed the button.
I told you to roll.
It's an 11.
I mean, an 11's not bad. An 11 is
Better than me.
a bog standard roll. That's just middle of the pack. That's
Not
fine.
to Beej.
Beach has a +5.
Not to Beej.
This is really bad.
All right. So, Beige has an 11. Lemon, what do you got?
30-20.
Dirty 20. Okay. Harold?
A 7.
Keeping the curse alive. Hilver?
13.
Okay. My turn. Everybody take
I
a
bet
moment.
you got probably
Is
a
Sarat-
negative to its initiative.
Everybody
Is
make
Sarat
a...
on Beach's turn? Or
That is
Yeah,
up
it'll be easier that
to
way.
Nicole. That's her. That's her baby, so
Are
she
you
gets to
sure?
choose.
I kind of wanted to roll for Sarah. Okay, 7. Plus.
Okay. Ooh, I just rolled I rolled a bad initiative, and it's good that I rolled really bad, and that's awesome for you guys. Okay.
All right, I'll be back again in 1 minute.
Damn. Those dogs really gotta go today.
We've all been there.
Me and the dogs.
I had to spend the majority of my day today mowing my lawn because the lawn was so long because we came back from vacation like a week and a half ago, and and the grass had not been mowed in all that time, and then it rained like nonstop on all the days that I was free. So today I finally mowed, and I had to stop, and my mower's a real piece of shit. I shouldn't say that. I have a great lawnmower that is made for mowing like a small cul-de-sac lawn, and I use it to mow my pretty giant lawn.
Some acreage.
It clogs, and I have to reach my hand into the mower deck and pull grass out. It's truly wild. Which means I have to stop it every time. I've pondered before being like, I don't think my fingers get that close. But no, I have to stop it and then restart it every time. It's a huge pain.
I love a good riding mower.
I've never used one. I've never been
They're
on a
fun.
riding mower. I don't know anything about it. I assume it's like car.
Like
It's
car.
very much like car.
I assume it is like car. You know.
I guess
like
it is
car.
like car, like suitcase.
Suitcase. I like my suitcase.
Suitcase.
You ever heard that?
No, you
For
sound
those
pretty...
who are uninitiated, Baron Trump, when he was like, I don't know, 5 or 6,
And he still had an accent.
he had an accent because of his mom. So they were like, all right, Baron, time to go to school.
I
Get
have
your
to go to school
I have to go
now.
to school now. And then they said, make sure you get your suitcase. He said, I like my suitcase.
I like my
It's the
suitcase.
craziest audio.
It's wild. It is
That is a 1-to-1 recreation.
just a shocking amount of time. There he is. I was like,
There we
damn.
go. He's back.
It's fun. I had to pick the lock on the door. All right.
Transferring the pup back home.
So interestingly, something is supposed to happen at initiative count 20, but Lemon is too fast. So you all look over and watch as this creature, the singing, you begin to watch 3 distinct ripples in the air appear in front of the creature the moment that you enter. And somehow you all see that, take a moment to realize it is happening, and begin to panic as you realize you don't know what's about to happen and you aren't prepared, just in time to hear the click of a gun being cocked behind you as Lemon is already gun up, ready, in initiative, and about to do whatever he's about to do. Lemon, cut us off a slice of that turn. What are you up to?
Yeah, I see this. All right, go big or go home. And I'm blowing everything. I'm gonna swing, and by swing I mean shoot. First thoughts.
This undead abomination made a classic mistake, and that's bringing just its undead friends to a gunfight.
What if this creature just wants to be buds?
I'll pass.
The ear-shattering sounds from it are make me not feel friendly.
What?
First shot is 25.
25 hits.
Second shot is dirty 20.
Hits. I don't know if you can
and
guess.
then-
It's not that hard to hit this big boy.
Yeah. And then I am popping.
We surgeon?
Was it?
We round 1 surgeon?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're surgeon.
Oh no.
Considering 2 more attacks.
So this might actually be confusing for Harold, Hilver, and Beige. As this creature begins to sing, you begin to see these ripples in the air, and then you just hear a cacophony of gunfire from behind you as Lemon fires all
don't hear anything.
cylinders. Oh
We
yeah,
just
you're in
feel-
a big circle
Oh
of
my
silence.
God.
Just flashes of light.
Yeah, a little bit of like gunpowder speckling our faces.
That's another dirty 20.
I get hit by a bullet casing. It falls into my armor. It burns.
Yeah.
And the last hit is a 22.
Gets stuck in there.
4 hits.
All right, so all the damage.
God, Harold, that would be so bad. I can't. Like, it's a funny bit, but have you ever done anything like that? Have you ever been like using like a grinder or something and had a spark go in your shirt? It is the worst
It's happened
thing
to
in
me
the world.
with a bullet casing. It burns so
Oh.
bad. It sucks. It went right in my collar, and I had a vest on. I was like, ugh. I had to dig it out.
Ugh.
Miserable.
So gnarly. All right, what's the 110 points of damage that you're about to do in round 1? You guys were all like, I hope we live. And I was like, hey guys, have you been here for the same fucking campaign that I have? I throw increasingly terrible cosmic horrors in your path, all of which are above CR, and you proceed to dog walk them to the moon. You proceed to annihilate them one by one.
I just need to see something.
What's fun is we don't discuss our characters. We do a little bit. We're like, this is the vibe I'm going with. But we're not like, oh, we need extra DPS in the team. But it feels like every time we end up rolling up just right.
I mean, this time you're essentially 2 DPS, a tank, and a support, which is rock
It worked out.
solid. And then you were
Yeah.
2 DPS, a support, a tank, and then a support DPS before Nick
Yeah,
became the
switch
busiest
hitter.
person in the world. Sort of a switch, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happens, but it does happen every time. In our home games, for those of you watching, it is infamously worse for me. I cannot make any creature that can keep up with these jabronis. Who is SEAL Team 5? Was that the Icewind Dale team?
Yeah, that was Walnut and all them.
Absolutely horrifying, that group was. All right. What's the damage?
So first hit, 23 damage.
Great.
Second hit.
You did 23 damage with 2d8 plus 5?
Plus, I have magic weapon going.
Oh my
plus
God.
I have my bracers.
No.
Second hit, 23 damage.
Oh my god, you're maxing out.
So 48.
That's 1 away from max.
So 48 on the first 2?
Mhm.
No.
2 23s, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
46.
It's. I've rolled 2 7s and 2 8s.
Yeah, no, great.
That's lower.
Thank you.
A 7
13.
and a 6.
Okay. 59. Is that all?
No, that was. This is the 4th.
No, I know.
And that is going to be 8. 16.
Okay. So we start things off with 75 points of piercing damage directly to this giant horror from the depths of history.
Does it do it?
A terrible thundering of no, it's not dead. A terrible thundering of horrible destruction rains on this creature as shots fire across its form. It's a good
I
thing.
blow the smoke off of my gun.
Immediately, this creature, I will see you blow a couple of limbs off. Some of the bodies in its form seem to die. The song it is singing begins to grow tenuous and strained. It is a immediate, quite terrible effect. All right, anything else on your turn?
Nope. He does have disadvantage on his next attack.
Okay, disadvantage on the next attack. I can do that. All right.
That'll teach it to traverse through time and manipulate our setting to trick us into
Yeah.
coming to a reliquary at the bottom of the desert.
At initiative count 20, without the modifier that I know that Lemon has to dexterity, those rippling waves in the air begin to tear, gripping at the corners and ripping open, and you see 3 figures who tumble out of these rifts. two of them tumble out, and one of them seemingly kind of just shimmers into being. The one on the left and the right seem to kind of fall as if from other places or times. The one in the front seems to just sort of step through a little bit more comfortably. You see to the left of this creature a insectoid, chitinous, four-armed bug creature that we would recognize as a three-creen. It has forearms. In its upper two arms, it has cutlasses in each hand, and in its lower hands, it has full-on, like, ray guns from Spelljammer that it is holding, and it immediately begins to, like, click, 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 is, like, looking around, incredibly confused. And then, this echoing song, it listens and turns its attention on all of you. Some champion of the Piper, summoned from another place. On the other side, to the right of this creature, you see complete opposite. You see what might be a human man. A prominent brow, thick facial hair, and long hair going down their back. They're wearing animal pelts around their midsection. They have a long blade in their hand made of seemingly just the jawbone of some kind of animal. You see this incredibly strong-looking caveman that immediately begins to like throw dust forwards towards you all as if trying to put on a display of do not come any further. The third and final figure is in the center. They step out of the shimmering expanse in front of them far more comfortably than the last ones, and it is a figure that Harold and Lemon and Hilver all recognize. You see a fiddle in hand, drawing a bow across its string. The same fiddler that you saw when you were young, when you were older, and as recently as a few days ago, steps through, playing a song you cannot hear, but just by seeing his hand moving, you know that it is the song that has guided you all along this way. These three champions, it would seem, have been brought to this place in defense. And it's time for us to earnestly get things started after somebody has already done like 6 million points of damage. So that's Lemon's turn out of the way. That is our initiative count 20 sort of trigger. Up next are these three. They are immediately going to spring into action. Up first, you watch as, although you cannot hear him, the fiddler mouth begins to move. He is speaking with something that he has not done in any of your pasts, and the other two, that three-creen and the caveman, begin to move out in opposite directions, all preparing to act on whatever command, maybe, they have just been given by this figure. It is Kazarek the Three-Creen's turn first. He actually crosses around, going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 20 feet. Actually he'll stop at 15. As he does, one of those hands that is holding what to you all looks like a really fancy revolver, but to all of us looks like some full Star Trek style nonsense, and fires at Beige.
What the heck?
Taking some kind of immediate note. All right, they are going to make 2 attacks. The first one normal for now. Let's see if they need to do anything worse than that. Oh my god. They absolutely miss on the first attack.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right, they are going to use a precise attack on the second.
Oh, I can't use that. Sorry, I can't use my reaction because I'm silent.
Maybe not for long. 23 to hit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that going to do it?
No, not 10 over.
You know,
or anything.
Here's what I have to say. According to rules as written, you can use cutting words.
Really?
As a
I
reaction,
just give him the middle
you can
finger.
see, you just can't use bardic inspiration. Cutting words is allowed.
Really?
What would cutting words do? Impose disadvantage?
It would be a bardic die roll, and it would subtract.
Subtract.
Instead of add, like inspiration.
Is that worth doing given how high the roll was?
Oh no,
Probably
not now,
not.
no.
Just in general, in the Silence Cone, you can do it. You just can't inspire us.
Okay. And then you take... Okay. Bij, you take 22 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Make a... Not even that bad. Make a DC 11 Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. And the warding bond is in effect.
Oh,
so.
yeah. I was going to say, I have to read up on what Warding Bond does.
So you both would take 11 damage each.
Oh. I see.
I
Take
didn't-
that, I have a friend.
The power of friendship's really going to win this one
Unlike
for us,
you.
guys.
Okay, so you both
He
take
just
11.
pulled out 3 friends.
So you both take
Yeah.
11. Now make a... So I guess make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw to maintain your concentration on silence.
That's what I'm doing, baby. That's what it's all for. Yeah!
Let's go, 13.
13. Okay, you succeed. So those points of damage are delivered, but you don't fail that check. You are still enshrouded in this sphere of silence. That 3 green continues to run 25, 30... Can he go much further? He can. 35, 40. Continuing to run out around the outside, trying to get a little bit of an angle on you all. Okay. The fiddler is going to continue to play their song. And they look at Surratt while they do. And Surratt needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Alright. Where's the... Alright, let's roll.
Because I do believe... Now, this is a question I have. If a spell with a verbal component
Top.
can cast on a creature in a silence, it's just that a creature within the silence could not cast it. Is that correct? I'm 90% sure that's right.
Yeah.
There's-
It is correct as long as it doesn't say a creature that can hear you.
Yeah.
It goes through.
It does not. There is a sort of flavor element to the fact that they are a violinist, but they do not. You do not need to hear the spell.
They do get a +3 because they're standing next
That's
to me.
rough. It's because I didn't roll like I usually
mine.
do.
Tell them the result because it's
Oh,
not.
it was a 5.
Okay. Their focus is clear. Their intention is obvious. The silence must go. Surratt takes 13 points of psychic damage and immediately attacks Bij.
No. Surratt would never do that.
You all watch Surratt look over to where Bij is, and their eyes go wide with pure panic as they are seeing something that is not what is there, and immediately swing down with their hammer.
This is not good.
Wait, 1,
3-5.
1, 5. Okay,
gonna be
that's
fine.
interesting.
Saving that reaction might work for this hit, hopefully.
It's not
Now
going to be bad.
roll to hit yourself.
Okay, roll to hit my own self. Okay, interesting.
Roll really high.
Hey,
Rolled super high.
interesting.
Not a crit, right?
Not a crit.
Okay, good.
It was a 19.
That
It was
doesn't
a
matter.
19.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well-
so we're good.
And you have, so with cutting words and then the +1 from wording bond, you might be able to stop that.
does Surratt crit on 19s?
It doesn't say so.
Okay,
Oh.
if it doesn't say so, we're going to call it. All right.
If it says so, I'm backspacing it.
I'm taking
On
it
my sheet, it
out of
doesn't
the
say
document,
it. On my,
brother.
on my editable sheet, it doesn't say it.
I would actually accept as an argument that Surratt would not attack that lethally once they realized it was Bij anyways. I would accept some
Yeah.
arguments. All right, how much damage does Bij take as Surratt, like, smashes?
It's 3d8 plus 11.
Okay. Oh, it's that one.
Yeah.
Mine,
double
is it?
pyramid.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 ones.
It's 3 ones, it's 14. Whoa, they healed for 9.
Oh my god.
See the button that was on the weapon
27.
that healed Surratt? It had a
27.
latent, it was just stuck and then it unsticks.
So 27 split becomes 13 damage each.
Yeah.
Okay. Could be worse.
Thank God for that warding bond, though. That's really coming in handy.
Make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw. That's not a reaction. You just forever take half of the damage Beach is supposed to take.
Until one of us falls unconscious. Yeah.
You guys might end
Or
up having to
get
drop the
60 feet
silence
away.
just to heal.
I might have to roll as well. I need to see if it's actually concentration or not.
Oh, that one isn't.
It's not. I didn't.
It
think
It
so.
being
We're good.
concentration would be a little silly.
Yeah. Yeah. And the potion of greater healing that Hilver gave to Beej is a 44 plus 4 hit point drink.
So Beach does also have that
Looks
they
like.
can use. Okay. What was the result of that con save?
It is. Okay, interesting.
What is it?
Don't forget your +3.
Is
Plus
it good?
3?
Next to me.
Is it
And
good?
+1 from warding bond.
Wait, okay. Plus
So +4.
8, 9,
Plus 4.
10.
14.
Oh, okay, 14.
How'd you go from 8 to 14 with a +4?
I
Because
have.
there's a +2
yeah.
initial to con.
Okay, in that case, it totally saves. DC was just 10.
Oh my god.
The silence
good.
stays up.
Sure does.
The fiddler. You notice the fiddler immediately runs just kind of away, putting themselves at a more distant approach. The last is our powerful caveman, who, although you cannot hear it, just roars at you all and immediately runs 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, he stretches. He becomes long. He gets skinny. You watch as he jumps into the pile of green goo. You see it start to sizzle and burn across his body. He just continues and moves up on Harold as fast as he can, just going for the big shiny man.
He's trying to fight me for dominance.
Going for big shiny man. He takes some damage from going through that pool.
He's wolfing out.
All right. And he is just gonna go after you 3 times, big dog.
If he
You'll see
dies
about
in if he dies in the acid pool, his cameo in the next game will have to be as the jester.
22. I don't know if that hits you.
It hits because I'm not using shield. Wait, warding bond might give me a +1 as well. It'll hit either way.
Okay, so I'll just keep
Let me
rolling
look
then. A 22, a 20, and a 12.
What was the other one?
A 22, a 20, and a 12.
20 and 12 don't hit.
Okay,
So one
awesome.
hits.
So he tries to cut out at you twice with this kind of nasty looking jawbone. Both miss. And so you're focused on that just in time to see his open mouth shoot up towards your face. You manage to like turn off to the side, but he still sinks his teeth into like the side of your neck and the top of your shoulder.
Hungry.
This guy ain't eaten in a while.
You take 14
Double
points
blood
of piercing.
sugar.
Wait, that can't be right. It's not. You take 11 points of piercing damage. I was like, that's too high.
Take
I
it.
was like, nope, that can't be it.
He's got really sharp teeth. Caveman had sharp teeth. I've
You
heard that.
vampire.
So he leaps
the
across the
first
distance,
vampire.
and you all see there is now just a full caveman up on Harold, like grabbing the front of his plate. His feet are off the ground, and he's like trying to pull Harold down to the ground as he bites into his
Did
neck.
it.
He's trying to eat me.
Time.
That's also
Nobody
what
can
it
hear
says.
that. You
You
just
see
see
my
Harold's
mouth
mouth moving.
Harold's your friends, not food.
Does Beige take half of that damage?
No, he's the recipient of the spell. I take everything, but that's it.
Okay. That is the end of the entourage's turn. Blessedly. Up next is Hilver.
All right. I think I have to stay within the silence, so I will move over here beside Harold and send out a.
I do want to say, I attempted to make clear, taking an incredible amount of damage because of the sonic is off the table. That is not something you need to be concerned with anymore. There are magical effects, right? There are like spells and stuff that you would need to be outside for them to affect you. So don't feel the need to like super hard stick in the silence. I'll just be very candid. It's probably a good idea to end your turn in the silence.
All right.
I don't know if you can get to anybody and back in that time, but that's the situation.
So wait, so I'm here, so if I go 5, 10...
So Hilver is standing right at the mouth of this place, looking past the large kind of dais in front of them. There are 4 in the room, examining the fiddler that is off to your right, the 3-creen that is off to your left, and this caveman that is attacking Harold right in front of you, trying to choose what he does. You all watch him become a blur of quicksilver, sprinting across the distance up to the fiddler.
And I will throw a punch at this guy.
Okay.
That's 22 to hit.
A 22 to hit. He's going to use his reaction to give you disadvantage. Roll again.
All right.
But that's his reaction. Burn.
All right.
Roll bad. Come on.
14 to hit.
14 barely misses. You run up to punch this dude just square in the face, and then you're perfectly lined up, and then all of a sudden you are 10 steps further behind from where you just were. You sprint up again to swing, and you end up missing on the second swing. Everybody else watches Hilver like rewind and then go for the hit again.
All right. I will try to hit him again. 17 to hit.
17 does hit, and he does not have another
All
reaction.
right. That is 11 points of force damage.
Ooh, 11 points of force damage. I want to say,
And-
this hits this dude hard. It's just a normal punch. You've hit a lot of things like that. It fully makes his head do the, like, I don't know, I'm thinking of that scene in the Creed movie where he, like full snap to the side, clearly very bad. He seems pretty injured already.
All right. And with my, I also, like, as I hit him with that force damage, like, this, like, a little bit of cradle, like, kind of seeps into him, and he takes 6 points of necrotic damage and is poisoned, maybe? If he can be poisoned.
You are maybe surprised to discover he can be poisoned.
Okay. And as I do that too, my fingers reach in and grab him, like, I guess, like, by the sternum as I try to grapple him.
Okay. He's just grappled. I mean,
So-
that's how I think grappling just...
No, it's a save.
Oh yeah, this dude's athletics or whatever is going to be huge.
Yeah. So he can do a strength or dexterity saving roll
Great.
against 15. He has to get a 15.
A huge 12.
All right, so he's grappled.
A girthy 12. A strong 12. Yeah, you suddenly grab him, and maybe you were expecting him to be some ethereal walker in the stars. His clothing is real under your hands. The fiddle is real. His neck seems like it hurts from being punched. This person, whoever it is clearly deeply attuned to the Piper, but is not extraterrestrial and can be grabbed.
All right, and as a bonus action, I will Step of the Wind
Okay.
to carry him back to the party.
It's truly so hot in this room right now. All right, you grab him and Step of the Wind back. You move, and then I'll move
20,
him. So you all watch
25,
Hilver sprint across this distance. That first attack misses, but he immediately clocks this dude in the face again, grabs him by the lapels, and rips him back across the space. He is now directly next to the caveman in the sphere of silence.
And, like, so if me moving through, I guess, like, I can move through another of my allies' spaces, but I'm guessing it'll, like, maybe double the cost when I'm grappling an enemy.
I would say, I don't know. I'm tempted to say you probably
Or-
just can't do that.
Okay.
Trying to move, because you're
Alright.
no longer moving yourself through space. You are now trying to move two creatures through, and I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You could probably move them through
Alright.
Surat space, because Surat is so big that you could just like duck between her legs. Everybody else it's not gonna fly.
Okay. All right. So to, like,
Don't forget
bring-
about you're 10 extra feet from standing next to me as well.
Yeah, that helped and I think like I still have that for the round, so like for the step of the wind, that would get the extra 10 too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's probably
so
about the
I'll bring-
furthest you
and
can
then-
get him.
yeah.
Then. Just a little bit. So you all see
Mhm.
this guy is dragged fully like into the tunnel by about 5 feet.
Yeah. I just
It's a
like
horror movie.
bracing him against the wall of the place. here,
Remarkably,
between
his
Surat and our
iron
place.
grip on this fiddle in his hand does not break. He is unwilling. You watch it slam up against the stone, this instrument, as he makes his way through, and it doesn't shatter. So you assume that it is magical in some way.
Okay. All right, and that'll be it for my turn.
Okay, what was this poison damage you did? Was it 6?
Yeah, 6
Okay.
necrotic damage.
Necrotic damage, right? And he is poisoned. That's the other thing. Okay, so he is poisoned.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I say awesome. It's terrible. All right. Next is the chorus. All right. Chorus is going to do a couple of things. Number one, I actually need to roll a recharge check immediately because summoning allies is a recharge ability. It does not recharge. Surprise,
Thank
surprise. Okay. It can't. Ugh. I'm having a tough time knowing what to do here. It uses its bonus action, and the song begins to swing a little bit differently, some changes to the melody, and you watch as that Three Crean's eyes begin to glow with that same magenta color. You get the sense that it is being in some way improved and strengthened by it. And then with its action, this is tough. They need that silence down. It is going to attempt to affect Beige, although this is a terrible idea. So Beige, make a charisma saving throw. It's a bad idea, but it's the only
Don't
thing
worry about it, though.
It's the only thing that it can do that will sort of make the plan work, right?
Plus 3.
19 plus 3, 22.
And the one from the warding bond.
23.
23. Absolutely dominate it. Huge. All right.
If there's one thing Beej is, it's hot. And if there's 2 things, he's hot and sexy. And if there's 3 things, he's hot, sexy, and charismatic.
Yeah.
That's so true. You watch this creature very slowly lumber 5, 10, 15 feet into this larger pool of this green, almost bile-like acid. As it lowers itself in, you are hoping to watch its skin sizzle and burn, but instead it seems to be fortified and strengthened by whatever this strange sludge is. It is not injured, certainly. It's going to heal a little bit. Okay, I actually rolled really good, which is awesome for my boss fight not being just immediately fucking over. You watch some of its wounds. It's dozens of bullet wounds begin to... I know that mechanically you only fired 4 shots, but in the cartoon of this, Lemon fired 9 full... reload. Because there's no other way to logically explain the volume of damage. This creature lowers itself in, heals some of those wounds, having buffed one of its allies, and attempted to bane one of you, and failed in the working. Okay. 5th up in initiative is Zbij. It's Zbij. You want to drop silence?
Zbij. Yeah, actually, this time, guys, I think I'm gonna drop it.
Are you sick of... I don't know about you guys. I just don't know if we need silence.
You guys want to hear something?
Your song.
You guys want to hear some stuff?
No. I will, however, look around at everyone to kind of see, vibe check, chat, just to see if there are any plans people have, anywhere I should move, those kinds of things. Just kind of get a vibe check on everybody.
Does anybody bust out with a series of complicated, ranger hand signs to direct the next few moves? Does anybody
You guys
pull out
learn
some
sign
Book of
language,
Five
right?
Rings strategy?
all of my on my mad dash to the fiddler and back, I think all of my little like signs and stuff that I had written just are scattered along the floor.
Scattered around the floor. You see one of them has like a pretty long food order, and you're like, why? What did you think that would be used for? Just wondering.
It's the one that's slowly slipping into the vat that I went running
A
by, and I'm just like,
shocking number of knock knock jokes. Like in a lot, like half of the stack was knock knock jokes. All right, so it seems like nobody has a plan.
No.
Cool. Okay. Then I suppose Beach will keep being silent.
Worst thing ever.
Yeah, Beej has all verbal spells and one
Yeah.
spell that doesn't require verbal but is a concentration
It's all-
spell.
yeah.
I
I
would
wanna be-
So,
infinitely recommend you take the dodge action. That
Oh.
gives all attacks
Oh.
against you disadvantage.
Oh, heck yeah. I want to be invisible worse than you've ever imagined in your life. But I
if we had
simply
another
can't.
caster in the team, you'd be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Alas, alas, it cannot be. All right. So Beej, you all just watch Beej kind of get low. They hike their pants up a little bit and just start getting ready to dodge. Wait, no, it's Beej. Beej starts doing body rolls. Beej starts doing like
Roll.
perfect body rolls, and it's just you're like so hard to hit. The silhouette, it's changing.
The caveman gets a nosebleed, can't understand what he's looking at.
The caveman, seeing Beej be hot and also sexy, immediately just starts grabbing the sides of his head. He's taking dozens of points of
Frightened.
psychic damage. He's frightened. Weirdly, he's got a Pathfinder condition. He's frightened 4. He is 1 frightened level from
Wow.
dying. Yeah, no, it's the end of it.
Right.
All right, so Beej.
I think drinking the potion is like I guess Hilfer will like look at the potion that he handed to you, like that's like I guess hanging on your hip or something.
The
I think because they're bonus actions now, right? drink
Yes.
or no?
yeah,
Okay.
to drink one yourself.
So Beej, you could heal up if you wanted to, or not.
Yeah, I think Beach is looking alright right now.
Or
What's
don't.
the health? What's the health looking like?
I just want
35.
Beej, do you
Honestly,
wanna
now
take a-
would be a good time.
you want to take a dip in that
Get
acid
your
pool?
bonus action for the health.
Hey,
potion.
I'm feeling like a swim, guys.
What's the greater healing potion?
4d4 plus 4.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you don't get into the big dog stuff till later. It's 2d4 plus 2, 44 plus 4, and then eventually it's like 8. It's 84 plus 8, and then I think there's the big one that's like some stupid number plus 30.
Wow.
Beej gets 13 HP back, so looking pretty fresh again.
I mean, that's like 1 middling attack.
Yeah. They're pretty good.
Okay.
That's good.
That's good.
Taste the power of nature.
So,
And now it's going to be Surratt, right?
there is a chance. Yes, actually, it is going to be Surratt first. That is a very good note. And Veda.
All right. What's Surratt going to do?
Mm-hmm. Probably go hog wild.
That's what I was
Probably
gonna
goes
say,
crazy style. Where are you going?
to show you where Surratt is.
Oh, I thought you
This
were...
is the fiddler,
It is.
and this is the caveman.
So you've got
Surratt
options.
is not playing around. Right for the fiddler.
In the
Okay.
fiddler.
Oh yeah. She's
A
not playing.
supreme potion of healing heals 10d4 plus 20.
Wow.
That is the
Plus
last.
20.
That's like pretty. That's a very rare potion. So that's like tier 3 D&D stuff.
So you get 2 attacks
All right,
with
let's
a
do
plus
it.
8 to hit.
All right, so you all watch Surratt looks at the caveman crawling on Harold, and while that is grim,
Doesn't care.
he's like biting, and you're like, not as scary. Turns around and just goes to like slam this hammer down on this fiddler.
That is
Mhm.
a 20 and a 22 to hit.
A 20 and a 22 could not hit the fiddler more. The reaction is
Gonna
spent.
be-
Sorry, I described them right. I said it was a guy in a suit with a fiddle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's gonna be.
If you guys weren't in a silence right now, you'd be so scared of this fiddler.
He'd be so scary right now.
You'd be so scared of Fiddler. You get one little silent spell, and all of a sudden everyone's tough.
46 damage.
Fuck. Really?
Yeah, 46.
Okay.
That's why Harold insisted we went and got the big scary lady.
Great. The Fiddler's body shatters. His limbs break in many important places as he is smeared into the wall. Blood begins to ooze its way down, and as it does, however, you begin to watch a strange, that's kind of twitching chronomantic energy that happened earlier flares again. His body snaps back into place and he vanishes and is gone. As if he has been displaced from time.
We did
We
it!
killed him. He's not gonna come back.
That's the Piper. He's definitely nothing about that made it seem like
Dead.
he's dead forever.
We did it, guys!
Yeah, good job.
I
Get
dropped
outta
the
here.
silence.
You drop the silence. You drop the silence, take your magical focus, snap it over your knee. We're never going to need this
retire.
again. All right. That is Sarat's action. Does Sarat want to do anything else on their turn? And if not, what's Veda the Hound up to?
Probably biting.
Yeah, so that's up to you. Veda's key purpose would be to just stand in front of you to take hits if you need to, because reminder, Veda has basically a reaction to take a hit for you. Or, you could do something else with it. That's your call.
No, I think being Beej's personal punching bag for others, I think would be good.
You could have just said
So I
guard
can
dog.
move up to...
Okay, but yeah, you're right.
All right, so
So I can move
Sarat
up there
moves
to get
up
up
to
there.
try to occupy some of that space.
Yeah, she's
And
big.
that's
She blocked.
it for Sarat.
Okay. So that's Sarat. Veda moves into a more advantageous position next. All right. I need somebody to make a percentile roll that will start pretty unlikely to happen and will get worse as combat continues. Who's feeling brave/lucky?
I'll roll it.
Okay. Spencer, you're going to go ahead and you're going to roll percentile. All you're trying to do is get above a 10. How hard can it be?
Yeah,
No
I
worries.
always say that. I
Zeus
always say
isn't
I've
strong
always said
enough
that.
himself to stop this.
Exactly. I'm always saying that. 53.
53. You are fine. You
Yay!
watch those same ripples that summoned these things. You see one begins to come into shape directly above the chorus, and it is far larger than the others and is stronger in its vibration, and it does hang in the air there. I will be very candid. There's going to be a chance every round. We're going to be rolling that every round. If it ever gets up to, it's going to go up by 10 each time. So it's going to be 10 and then 20 and then 30 and then 40 and then 50. If it ever gets to 50, it will happen. Whatever that is about to happen will just happen. Okay. So that is that turn. Up next in the initiative is Harold. Harold, what do you do? There's a caveman biting your neck.
I'm gonna ignore
You're
the
fine.
caveman. No, I am going to attack the caveman. Let me roll my attack.
Why are you attacking the caveman? That's weird.
Don't attack the
scary.
caveman.
Actually, I'm going to position
Let him bite.
myself.
Doesn't know any better.
The caveman gives a puzzled kind of, look to the dead body
Like,
of the
what?
fiddler, and you get the strangest sense that the caveman has a lot of abilities sort of centered around kind of protecting and tanking for the fiddler. And he's like,
What's he gonna do now?
huh. He looks as if he's really, the last command he was given was pretty fiddler-centric. Now he's not
Yeah.
sure what to do about it.
It's okay, buddy. Join our side. You're all right.
Yeah, we'll be your friend.
If you
I
want
step
to,
out
all
of
you got to
the
do is drop the
silence.
silence if you want to start persuading the caveman.
I assume he can't speak the common tongue.
You know,
I
He
step
love
doesn't
is
out.
a
speak
universal
silence.
language.
True, I give him a big hug.
Mhm.
He thinks I'm trying to get him into a chokehold. He bites me. I step out of the silence, and I'm going to attack him. And if I land, I'm going to use a Divine Smite.
How is
Okay,
he gonna be our friend if you're attacking him?
that's a great question.
He can be our friend in the next life.
It's really disrespectful.
Which seems pretty close.
Does an 18 hit?
An 18 hits this mostly nude caveman.
And how about a natural 20?
That also hits this mostly nude and now almost certainly dead caveman.
And I am going to Divine Smite on my natural 20.
I'm so glad he's raging. This is the most excited I've ever been to have a bad guy actually start doing their stuff.
So that's going to be 2, 5, 10, 16, 28,
Great.
33 damage, and now I'm going to do my Divine Smite
All right.
damage.
Yeah, I was about to say, please do separate that out. Okay.
It's going to be...
Not all of that goes through. As you swing down, you are just faced with the incredibly just dense, muscled form of this figure, and they are freakishly strong as you are trying to, like, hack through them.
I get an 18 for radiant damage.
Great. And radiant damage, fun fact, no longer halved for Bear Totem Barbarians.
Hell yeah.
I'm always saying that.
He doesn't look bloody.
Bears don't deserve safety from smites.
Okay, that
He
burst
didn't earn it.
of radiant energy ripples across the front of his body and does seem to hurt him quite badly. There are singes across his skin.
Ow!
Okay.
He cries.
He starts loudly crying.
We can't hear it. It's silent crying.
He's speaking
Oh my God,
common.
that's
He
so
says, "I
sad.
thought it was a LARP. Is it not Wednesday? Like I signed up." All right, we are back up at the top of initiative, and and unfortunately, it is Lemon's turn.
I do go back into the silence, by the way. I get really close to
He
beach.
takes an attack of opportunity as you flee. You fool!
Yeah. That's alright.
22.
It barely hits.
You take 12 points of piercing damage. The second you turn, you feel that jawbone find a gap in your armor as you turn.
Ow. I point at him. I'm gonna get him next time.
He tries to
I
bite
don't
your
know
finger.
where.
You point, and he like immediately snaps
Smack
out.
him.
What?
I got out of there.
He touches his cheek. What? Cavemen don't do a lot of slapping, I assume.
No, probably not.
All right, Lemon.
Yeah, I will shoot at the caveman, and I'll shoot at the amalgam of things.
Okay,
One
so
good
one
hit on
shot at
this
the
caveman
caveman,
will go.
one shot at the chorus.
Yes. So first is the
He's
caveman.
Okay.
That is going to be a 26 to hit the caveman.
Catches it in his mouth. No, yeah, it hits.
He bites it.
It breaks all of his teeth.
God. That is going to be 23 points of damage on the caveman.
23 points of damage on the caveman, halved to 11. All right, that shot rips through. He manages to get a little bit out of the way as it cuts through his shoulder. Senses heightened in this moment. Now go ahead and fire for the big dog.
Big dog. That's going to be a 27.
27. All right. 27 is pretty gnarly. That hits, obviously.
That's going to be-
Can we roll on the permanent injury table on this caveman real quick?
Yeah.
That's my crit.
Let's bring that back around.
Do you want to roll one? That's fun. I'll do that.
We'll just do one, just see what happens.
Yeah,
Like,
just to
we'll
see
go-
what happens. Let me pull it up. It'll take 2 seconds. Michael, keep chatting while I find it.
So, against Chorus, 15 damage.
Eagle ear listeners will know that we were supposed to play with a lingering injuries table. We said we would make a new one. We did make a new one, and then we never used it because we got too excited
Not
that we had
once.
made it, which is
Yep.
a pretty classic us maneuver. What was the damage again?
15. Oh,
15. All right.
yes, 15. And they both have disadvantage on the next swing.
Okay. All right. All right, Spencer, go ahead and roll me a D100 for the caveman. If you roll a 1, he automatically dies.
95. The worst option for us.
With a 95, the caveman, it's not loud, but you do watch as a full shit just whoomp down out of his stuff. He gets really scared, fully poops his pants. He gets a -2 to his charisma for the rest of this.
Don't forget that, guys. You got a -2 to charisma, and he smells like poop.
I'm right
Oh
now.
my
I'm modifying his
Burning in the
permanent
acid?
character sheet. He has a -2 to
It is
charisma now.
melting in the acid. It's sort of slurry now.
Absolutely terrible. All right, cool, awful.
Could have like cut his arm off. You know what I mean? Like we could have had something really good happen.
Listen, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Pants.
You also just wasted a really good percentile roll, which I'm thrilled about because we got more of those coming up.
True.
All right. With number 2, it is the embarrassed caveman and the 3 Kreen's turn. That 3 Kreen is going to take another little step to the right. Actually, seeing everything that has just happened, the 3 Kreen moves out the other way, going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet. And seeing that some of the damage that they tried to do to Beige instead went to Harold, they quickly put together that there is a situation that they need to deal with and actually take their shots at Harold.
Yeah. Good luck.
Okay. Firing first time, miss. Oh wait, let me see. There's a chance if they max. They didn't. It's a 20 to hit, which somehow does not hit you.
No.
Okay. This has a chance. 21?
21 is my AC.
A 21 hits. Okay, all right. He's going to do a disarming attack. Make a pretty important strength saving throw
Word.
to not have your weapon sort of fall to the ground.
A natural 20 plus 8.
9.
I
9
point at him too.
9 points of damage. The bullet, this like phaser, like a full blue photon, like across the space, hits your arm, and you just don't, like, you feel a spasm go through your arm, and you just don't release the hammer, and the 3 Kreen's head just tilts like 45-degree angle to the side as if to say, huh?
What the heck?
You don't hear, but you see a distant, confused chittering as its like mouth stuff starts to move with like a what?
You guys seeing this?
All right. Caveman is going to make intelligence check. He should go attack Beige, but Big Lady hurt. And we're gonna roll. If he gets a 10 or lower, he's going to go for Big Lady. If he gets an 11 or higher, his 2 neurons will connect and he will go after Beige. All right, you watch. It's just raw focus fills his mind. A small trickle of blood comes out of his nose, and he nods slowly and starts running towards Beige.
Oh dang!
He got a 16.
Will Sirach get a... Oh, no.
He doesn't need to. They can stay
Not
in
quite.
range. And you watch as they proceed to let out a full round of attacks on Beige.
Don't worry, you took the dodge action.
You did take the dodge action, so I have disadvantage on all of these.
And one get out of jail free card. From
And Beige's awesome AC is going to for sure pull through. Whoa. Strong start. Miss on the first one, 13 with disadvantage, I think.
Yeah, it is a miss because of the +1 from the bond.
Your AC's 13.
13. Yeah.
I am hot. Okay.
That normally gets you out of the situations.
That's all I need.
And that one. Wait a minute.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
working. The
My
caveman's
disadvantage on the
scared.
first one was a 3 and a 4. For the second one, it was a 1 and a 16. Good thing we had disadvantage. All right, last one. They're going for the bite.
Oh no.
23 on the first roll.
Probably not.
That one.
22 on the second.
Oh,
What in the...
The die are loaded. He's using loaded dice.
Waited. Rated.
Yeah, I missed twice. I guess. 22 points of damage to Beige. No, wait,
enough.
that can't be right. 12. What is happening with me, my math today? Just the caveman. I'm
So
like
6?
35. No, 12 points of damage from the caveman.
6 to Beej, 6 to Harold.
6 to Beige, 6 to Harold. Beige, fail a DC 10 con save, please.
No,
Do it.
I will not.
Do it. Come on now. Come on.
13.
It's actually 16 because of the.
16.
It's actually 17.
17.
17. This sucks.
Aw.
I'm feeling pretty good. Harold's actually very hurt. I do need everybody to know that. He's pouring blood.
For the record,
No.
so are all of the bad guys. No one looks good right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's having a bad time. All right, Hilver, you're up. Actually, I think Hilver's probably doing pretty good.
Yeah, I'm still at. After all the heals, I got back to full. Oh no, why is it like? All right, I will move up and strike at the caveman. Getting a net 20.
Fuck. Pardon my French. It's not a
All
good.
right.
Not, see what I mean? You guys are all like, I hope we live. It's like, yeah, man, probably. Given your track record, you're gonna be fine.
So on the, I doubled the 1d8 to 2d8s and rolled ones on both of them. So
Ooh.
it's
Yeah.
7 points of force damage as I hit this guy.
Honestly, thank goodness. Force damage? Is that halved? It's not halved.
Hey. Sorry, I'm yelling at my dog.
I thought you just very earnestly said hey to one of us, and I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa.
Hey, knock that off.
All right.
Get rid of the garbage.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I
Is he
think
still standing?
he's definitely still standing.
All right. One more attack.
Go for it.
17 to hit.
17 hits, this caveman.
All right.
There's...
Uh,
you didn't necessarily hear it, but you smell a distinctive odor of poo.
All right.
Oh no.
13 to hit him.
13 does miss.
13 damage. Sorry.
Okay, 13 damage. Force?
Yeah.
Okay, he's still up.
All right, and I'm also trying to grapple him despite his smelliness.
Okay, this is
You have
actually going to be very
disadvantage on
tough.
You have the stink now.
Uh, 26.
Okay, he saves. So like, yeah, I kind of go to grapple him, then
Again, he's so strong. You get the strangest sensation that he's meant to grapple people and drag them away from kind of a fiddle player. Like, you're getting flashes in your mind of this. All right, is that your turn?
I will use a flurry of blows now,
Okay, great.
and use
Sick.
that focus point to. All right, wait. What am I doing? Sorry, I need to.
Only
I'm
you can
only
know
rolling
that.
one. All right.
I have a sheen of sweat. Because this
Does a
room-
10 hit him?
A 10 does not hit.
All right.
Oh,
And after, like, so I swing, I miss him, and then I go to Harold. I put my hand on his pauldron and send in some healing,
thank you, brother.
and he gets 7 points of healing.
All right, 7 points of healing to Harold.
Honestly, huge for when Beach takes damage.
Yeah.
Because it's half, that's going to be very useful.
All right, is that the end of your turn, Hilver?
Yeah.
All right, we are going to take a 5 here because I need to get out of this hot room for at least a few moments. So we're going to take a little break here. We're going to come back at 9:25. Our fight is motoring. We are moving through this. We'll see what happens when we come back. Catch y'all back in just a few. Peace. We are back. Spencer is shoveling chicken orzo with the might of 1,000 suns. We are ready to rock and carbing up for the rest of this big, gnarly fight that, I mean, so far, this thing's a walk in the park. This is no problem at all. All right. Whose turn did we leave off on?
I think that was mine.
You had just finished your turn, or you were about to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just finished it. Yeah.
Okay, great. So that's Hilver's turn. Up next is the chorus. I'm going to roll 1d6. If I roll a 5 or a 6, things change. I did not. Deeply unfortunate. Damn, that caveman, huh? He really did do that dang. The three Kreen's
His
eyes
best.
glow again as that same empowerment is targeted towards that thing again and again. The chorus continues to sort of sink into this green pool, staying for another round, and it will heal again at the end of the round. It is going to, with its action, It's going to take the... Ooh, but it wants to end. Does it have enough movement to do what I want it to? It is just enough. All right, it is going to do it. Is it? No, it can't because of the angle. All right, never mind. It just hunkers down and takes the dodge action. This creature is just hunkering down for what it seems to think is still going to be a long fight. Do with that what you will. Okay. So this thing is continuing to heal. It is continuing to focus on sort of getting away from you all. You watch as its dodge action is it just sinks into this pit of like lethal acid that you watched burn the caveman, kind of daring you to come and try to attack it while it is there. Okay. That is its turn. It is Zbij's turn. Bij. Go for Bij.
Beach speaks. He lets down the silence and he speaks.
Whoa. He says, "What's up?"
No, I'm sorry.
Don't
it's,
tease.
It's a silence fest.
Don't
I'm
tease.
so sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
I want to help you. I just also
It's
absolutely
fine.
don't.
I have so many abilities
No.
over here.
No, you don't.
It's
right?
silence is supposed to be good. I'm not here to make silence. This is a DM thing that I hate. Here, hey guys, welcome to DM Writer's Room Special Edition. This is our show within a show. If you're a DM and your players discover a really good ability that counters one of your bad guys, don't do it. I know what you're thinking. It seems that this close to the center of his power, even silence isn't strong. Come on now. Honor the ability. That's how it works. Silence stays up.
Have some honor.
What do? You got your action, you got your bonus action.
I guess I'll dodge. I suppose.
I will say you can move your silence further forward so we can
Yeah.
go attack him.
I just don't want to be attacked. But yes. Okay, I'll go with my posse. Perhaps I'll get a little closer to Sarat. Oh no, I can't.
You don't even really need to go. You don't need to move. You can just move the silence wherever you want.
Yeah, I forgot
Just
about
keep
that.
yourself in it.
I wish I was controlling Sarat, so Sarat could be closer to me. That's crazy.
You have control of Sarat, don't you?
Yeah,
I
I was
have
joking.
control of Surah.
I was joking.
You both.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Yeah, I will. I can move it a little bit forward. That way we can kind of advance a bit.
Just as much, so
Yeah.
long as we can attack the big bad
Yep.
guy.
Yeah.
So,
Can you move it on your end? Or...
Mm-mm.
huh. I've made a... So in the magical world of Prospect, I guess the spell Silence works a little different than it does in canon D&D.
Uh-oh.
I don't think that you all did a particularly close reading of this spell. 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range.
Oh,
Yes.
I always thought it
So-
could move.
So this silence spell should in fact should in fact be at the mouth
Very
of the
far
cave
away.
where you cast it. So, one of the things that our setting, the fantasy world of Prospect, includes is the ability to
I
cast
can move
silence
silence.
onto an object.
I can move silence. I can move it.
It's only Beej. Beej is the only person that can move silence.
I'm the
only
first to do it.
beige.
When you're the first to do it, of course.
Now,
there's
what I
no
will say,
rules.
I'm actually not mad at this because silence is a pretty low-level spell. So Beej certainly could have cast silence like 6 times
Yeah.
over the course of your journey. So I'm not super pressed about it, and you guys could have just plugged your ears.
Especially-
So the only thing I will say is you're not allowed to move it anymore. But I don't feel the need to. I've heard this term before. I don't know where it comes from. Put an asterisk on this whole campaign. I've heard that term used a lot, where it's like you have to put an asterisk on it because somebody broke a rule that would have made them lose. I don't think that has happened. I just think you would have burned a lot more low-level spell slots that you wouldn't have used
Yeah.
anyways. So I'm not super
The
mad
thing
about
is, Yeah, I don't use any spells when I'm using silence anyway, so I would just have burned through
it.
it.
So you would have just
I
been
can-
dropping and casting silence
Exactly.
constantly. Yeah. So that's
Exactly.
fine. Okay, good.
Which I can do, if I wanted to move it up a little bit further so we can be in Big Bad region.
Yeah, you could drop it and cast it again if you wanted to.
I would love to do that.
Okay.
Can we do it or no?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Keep the job.
Oh.
I just
Shoot,
need
that's
to.
I
I
thought
could do
Spencer
it.
could do it. Sorry.
No worries.
What the hell are you doing, Spencer? You're not doing it.
He's just
You're
like he was
sitting
like
there.
staring at it. I was like, what are you
Spencer's
doing?
way too busy smashing the orzo.
No, he's still
The,
thinking about
the
it. bro.
Orzo's been smashed. I am happy to tell you all.
That was a quick smash. Powerful.
10 minutes. 10 minutes in and out.
Okay. So I have added our sphere of silence. Do you want it like obviously keeping everybody in it? So I assume it looks something like that. Is that too far forward, folks?
Yeah.
So for the record, for
want
those
the
of you
big
who cannot
bad.
see our Roll20 screen,
good.
the circle of
Mm-hmm.
silence has moved up out of the mouth of the cave sort of tunnel and has moved into the body of the actual room. It is centered on Sarat, a large, powerfully built figure who's been magically made strong by the hammer of one of the Vemeral that they have gripped in their hand. Somehow they are maintaining control over it. Kind of just because of the silence, for the record. Although it would have been because of, waxed cotton stuffed in their ears had it happened earlier. Okay, is that good or do we want it anywhere else?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so that sphere of silence gets dropped and then recast. For just a second, you all hear the singing that you have not been able to hear up until now, kind of filling the space. In your face, Harold, you hear the caveman like just yelling in front of you before he goes back to being silent. Okay. So that's Beach's turn. So you do not dodge because you are moving the silent spell.
Yes, it seems.
Yes, it seems.
I think you've unmuted your headphones or something. There was just an echo. We'll see. Maybe that was just a little snafu.
No, it was. That was weird.
Oh, it's just one though. Didn't happen again. All right, fine. Okay, so that silence moves. Okay. That is Beige. Up next. Who's feeling brave?
We'll do this time.
Will
Okay.
Sarat go first, or? does
Oh yeah,
this,
Sarat can go
okay,
first.
All right, Sarat.
Go, Sarat.
Sarat
Beat
moves
its
up.
butt.
All right, so
Start
Sarat
swinging.
runs up to the chorus. Michael, if you would like to roll, you need to roll a 21 or higher.
We can go back.
That is a 68.
68. All right, so Sarat, massive hammer in hand, sprints across the distance. You swing down with this massive hammer.
She sure does. Oh. Okay.
It's plus
What? 12?
8.
Oh. Go back. 24 plus 8?
No, so the first attack is an 18.
I rolled a 24
The
at the
second one.
D20.
Is a 22.
So they definitely both hit. If it's a 24 and a 22,
Sure do.
An 18 to 22.
an 18 and a 22, or just in...
Yeah.
Okay, those both hit.
Sick.
Damage time.
That is, of course,
Yes, it's
3d8 plus 11.
All right,
one
all
die.
right. Got the twins from The Shining over there.
So plus 22.
Plus 22.
Because there's 2 attacks.
Yeah, so 68 plus 22, normal.
So 55.
55 damage? Okay.
Very normal stuff from Sir.
Yeah, just cash.
A couple
Not
of
godlike.
things are going to happen. The first thing that happens is Surat sprints across the distance, a look of cold determination in her face. This is a woman who basically admitted that at least they would maybe be able to die in this tunnel and save the world that way, as opposed to the alternative. As they streak across the gap, wielding this massive magical hammer in their hands, they swing down the first time, hitting this creature in the middle of what could be called its back, this kind of sloping structure that seems to give the most support, and it snaps under the weight. This thing folds in half, falling into the acid pool. As they swing up again, going to just slam down at this creature's head. This screaming echoing across the space that you cannot hear, the chorus singing even in the moments before its death. The hammer slams, and slowly the voices, one by one, begin to snuff out and become silent. One by one, until eventually they can no longer be heard, and it sinks down into the pool. The long and terrible, essentially, reign of this creature is over. Whatever strange kind of mythical thing that it has been doing, manipulating from time, who knows. As its body sinks, you begin to watch one of the mouths of the bodies as it is sinking open, and that same searing, bright magenta light pours out of its mouth. And from beneath the acid, more beams of light begin to shine from underneath, filling the space. And you begin to hear a different melody. Just as infectious and terrible, just as powerful, but not the same. The kind of thing that a human mouth would not be able to produce, the kind of shattering symphony that mortal instruments would not be able to produce, and a new force emerges into the space, clawing its way through bright light as if it is stepping on those beams itself. You see a swirling being of light and shadow and flesh and stars. You see a living galaxy lifting up out of the acid. Around its edges, it is shimmering and shuddering, and you begin to watch. It is the surroundings beginning to collapse in and encroach on this creature. You get the sense that it will not necessarily be in this plane for long, but for just this moment, in the face of your thwarting, the Piper is here. For just a second, some limb of this ancient being is here. The caveman, looking over his shoulder, seeing it, eyes go wide. And as this caveman begins to almost go to drop to a knee, you watch its shoulders start to pop and shift in its form, and muscles begin to much like with Surat, begin to tear across its space. You watch its skin ripping open and blood oozing down as the form of this caveman also begins to swell and strengthen, taking up until it becomes a large creature in the same space, still surrounded by all of you. Its wounds are not healed, It's just that something happens and it changes, and this fight has changed. All right. We're in it now, boys. Okay. Cool. Super normal. That was Sarat's turn. Up next, it is the Piper's turn. With the Piper's
I think it's going to hold its action.
first action, well, point of order. You motherfuckers are still in the circle of silence, which is still a problem for me somehow. This ethereal creature from the beginning of time. It is going to... It does have an ability it can use.
In the heart of its domain, even silence can't keep out its sounds.
No, unfortunately. I would love for that to be true. It mostly has abilities that are based on you being able to hear. It has one that doesn't. You do not know how you know this, but this thing is looking at you all. It is staring at you. From a swirling world of light beyond reality, it is in this moment looking here. And it is going to look... I don't think it knows enough about the crew to know who is the problem and like who has cast silence. It's not omnipotent, right? So let's see. How many of you do we have on the field? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to roll a d6. Obviously, Beige is a 1 because that's the worst reality. So Beige will be a 1, Hilver will be a 2, Harold will be a 3, Lemon will be a 4, Veda will be a 5, and Sarat will be a 6. Let's see what happens. A 2, Hilver. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. All you feel in this moment is a consciousness larger than reality just look at you, and immediately your body feels like it is collapsing under waves of gravity.
All right. 14 plus 6 plus 3, so for 23.
Okay,
As
that succeeds. You receive these like hazy, swirling visions that begin to fill the space around you, much like when that sound went through earlier and you all saw visions, that goes to sort of replace your reality for a moment as you are crushed under its awareness, and somehow you manage to shrug off that titanic force. You take 17 points of psychic damage, halved to 8. And you are not restrained. Thankfully, nobody can hear its music except for the 3 Kreen. Okay, cool.
3 Kreen's head explodes.
That is Harold's turn. Harold, the situation has gotten, I would say, different.
Yeah, I'd
Maybe
say
worse.
worse in a lot of ways, because now I'm a little scared to even go out of the silence for a second. Before I was like, I'll pop in and out. I'm not going to get near the galaxy that sings a song of time itself. So instead I'm going to attack the caveman, the thing that I can understand.
Are you sure you don't want to get out of the silence?
I'm pretty sure that right now I'm not going to... I look over at Beach for a second, like, should I go? Should I
Beach is
go
like,
there?
oh yeah.
Beach
go
gives the
for it.
most sarcastic, like,
Yeah.
nod of their head.
Harold turns like half a step to... He doesn't go.
Okay.
He's going to go attack the caveman.
Huge choice. We love it. It's weird. The caveman
but
just
no
got the
divine
grappler
smite.
feed.
Whoa.
That's the only change it got.
he has a grapple hurdler feat, so when he attacks someone, he actually launches them.
Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does hit. But it is close. This sort of like, again, sort of thick, hardy skin is a little bit hard to cut through.
Gotta roll damage. That is 28 points of damage.
Okay.
And that's just the end of my turn.
You've never seen a creature more barely alive. You've never seen something closer to the brink of death maybe in your life. If it was possible for a creature to have 0.5 hit points left, that is what this big boy would have.
I don't even have any. I don't think I have anything I can do here. There
is a whisper of an echo of life left in this big, beautiful boy.
Yeah, no, I got nothing. He's alive.
Okay. At the end of your turn, the Piper is going to use his first villain action. Whale. All of the Piper's allies, good job, guys, there's only 2, can immediately move and take an attack action with advantage. The caveman is not going to move and is going to swing. You're never going to believe this. For Beach.
I don't think that is.
It is very funny for
pretty good damage.
an incredibly squishy bard to paint a 9-foot tall target on their back and still be alive this far into the fight is hysterical. So let's see if we can't change that.
Does Beach still impose disadvantage? Because dodge.
You worded that
I
weirdly.
did
They
it.
didn't dodge
Oh, okay.
because they had to cast silence.
recasting. Yeah.
Wait,
Gotcha.
you shot it. It has disadvantage. Didn't you shoot it? Okay.
So on one attack it has its disadvantage.
Okay. That is an 18 on the first. And a crit on the second. So let's be glad it's only an 18. Okay. So that's an 18. With this now, what was once a bone knife is now sort of a bone hammer / sword / great
A
axe.
cleaver.
Cleaver's good. Cleaver's good. I like cleaver. Okay. You take 16 points of slashing damage, which is not very good. I rolled fairly poorly. So 16 points of damage on Beej, which is then 8 points onto Beej, 8 points onto Harold. Beej, make your 3,000th con save. DC's only 10.
I'm doing my damage. Okay. You get an additional +4. Don't forget that.
Oh my god. Get me out of here. Save me.
Oh,
Oh, that was scary.
24.
24? What was scary?
Just doing it at all.
That was scary.
All right. Okay. That is the end of Harold's turn, and that legendary... Oh, wait, the 3 Kreen. The 3 Kreen goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Gets a bead on old Beach. But is not incredibly juiced up. So, there's a chance. 27 to hit. Wow.
Yeah, it'll do it.
18 points of damage, so 9 to Beej, 9 to Harold.
9 and
And
9.
Veda.
Oh, yeah,
does
Veda.
Veda have that?
Yeah, Veda can do the
intercept?
block. But I don't know how it works. I don't have Veda up. I only have...
Okay, Stefan sounds like he
Right.
does, because he said the name of the specific ability,
Oh.
so read it out loud.
Oh no, I just remember Veda had the intercept thingy, but
It's not my,
Hold
it's
on,
not
I
my
should
magic
find it.
item, guys. I don't...
is
We
it?
can take this. We'll take this damage on the next one. Surat will... Or Veda will do the block.
Okay.
Oh, I think. Wait,
Just look for it in the next turn.
10, 9, 8,
I see it. I found the
7,
PDF.
6, 5, 4...
So,
three.
Defender,
Yes.
3 a day. Veda can attack, or can give all attacks against one creature within 5-foot disadvantage.
They have to be within
Hair-
melee range. It does not
So
happen.
it doesn't work.
Then there's Tear, which Veda can use a signature attack as a bonus
Obviously not that
action
one.
against a prone pin.
Not that one.
Probably not that one.
It's just Defender. Defender's the thing that
Okay.
works, but it doesn't work
Okay.
there.
9 points of damage to Harold, 9 points of damage to Beige. Make another DC 10 Constitution saving throw and succeed immediately. I'm going to switch up my tactics. I'm going to say Beige can't fail. No, Beige must fail. There is no other choice.
Concentration.
Concentration check. That's all.
That is a 12.
Yeah. All right. Silence stays up. Okay. That is Harold's turn. Okay. With that, it is Lemon's turn. Lemon. There's a big angry guy. There is a 3 Kreen with phaser pistols, and there is a giant swirling galaxy. What do you do?
Yeah, I don't love any of that, to be honest. I know the big man in front of me is not looking great. I'll take one shot at him,
Great.
and then I'll do a shot at the Threen.
Absolutely. Okay, so one shot at him, one shot at the 3 Crane.
Yep. Against Caveman, it is a 5 plus 10, so a 16 to hit.
A 16 hits, he is dead.
Okay.
There's no point in rolling. You blissfully, finally, the caveman is taller than all of your friends, and you just and shoot him in the head. And the caveman just and falls back, slamming into the ground with a loud rumble.
And then against the 3 green.
And then blips out of existence. He just and he's gone.
Oh, that was almost a crit. It was 19.
19 misses.
No, I rolled a 19 plus my, so a 19 plus 11, so a 30 to hit.
Yeah, 30 hits.
And that's going to be,
If this was Pathfinder, it would be a crit.
if only. So that's
If we ran out of music, can somebody go attend to that?
Yeah. And apparently there is something called a spell in a different D&D called Cone of Silence that is mobile.
Huh. I will say
That's
it
cool.
might have been fun to have the torture that you have to endure for inflicting this terrible silence curse on me to be that we don't play music while silence is. We all have to just sit in meditative quiet.
That'd be fun. That is 19 damage.
19 points of damage. That is the first damage the 3 Kreen has taken.
And he has disadvantage on his next attack.
Okay. Very good.
Anything
Anything else on your turn, Lemon?
I don't believe so. I wish I could. Yeah, bonus action reload. That's it.
I see a path to victory, though it is thin. All right, cool. Lemon reloads. It is initiative count 20. The Piper has not gone again, so he cannot use his second villain action. It is the 3 Kreen's turn. The 3 Kreen is gonna... I mean, it's so lame. It is gonna shoot Veda twice. Not Veda twice. It's gonna shoot Beige twice. There's just nothing else to do. You're the only target on the field that matters, and you have to die eventually. Harold is covered in wounds that aren't his. Like, every time one of these blasts hits Beige and opens on Harold, an identical wound opens. Thankfully, both of them only half as deep as they would be. So, for all that it is, the 3 Kreen is at least enjoying the fact that they are getting to do damage to 2 figures every time that they do this, right? They have disadvantage on their first attack, so they're going to make their first attack a precision attack to try to make up for that disadvantage.
Does Veda being in front give partial cover or no?
Not to Kazaric.
Not so what?
The name of the 3 Kreen is Kazaric.
Okay.
Those like sharpshooter feats have turned their tables against us.
It's not quite sharpshooter. They don't gain some of the additional benefits of sharpshooter. All they have is they do not need to worry about they don't need to worry about cover, and the so like the range increment still applies. That's why this 3 Kreen is not on the other side of this room shooting at you all. Okay, that is it's infinity for Beige. It's 26 or something.
Yeah, no.
If I don't
Guys,
roll a
this is
good
gonna be it
damage
for
roll
Harold.
once in this whole day, I'm actually gonna fucking lose it. I'm totally gonna lose it. Yeah, great. A big 11 damage, so 5 each.
5 is just what it takes to knock Harold unconscious.
It is? Wow. All right.
Yeah,
you all
it's a
watch
5
Harold
HP.
thunk fall to the ground unconscious. One last attack halved down to something more reasonable. Beige.
And now the warding pot goes away.
Warding bond goes away.
No!
Beige, make a con save. Harold was putting in work this fight.
It's mostly just soaking damage.
Soaking damage, and you were just smite.
Yeah, smiting.
And you being there meant that the caveman didn't just demolish Beige every round.
True.
21.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it for
Okay, I'm
sure.
unconscious, so you don't get my
I
benefit.
know.
Yeah, 21 is still going to get her done.
That'll
You, weirdly, this thing sees Harold Falls. If a bug could smirk, it would. And Beige is only strengthened by this realization and the call to action that it presents. All right, that is the 3 Kreen's turn. Damn it! You guys are supposed to be good! All right, it is Hilver's turn. Hilver, you got an unconscious Harold behind you. You got a swirling vortex of eternal hatred in front of you, and you got a 3 Kreen over there.
All
With
right.
a laser gun.
Yeah.
2
I feel like
laser
I think.
guns.
Yeah, with Harold behind me, I think I feel like the impact of his like armor as he hits the ground, and so I turn around to use my flurry of blows, and lay a healing hand on him.
Start
thought
kicking the shit
for
out of Harold.
9 hit points.
Yay!
Harold didn't hear no bell.
I'm back.
And
Harold, this
I-
campaign is just the South Park I didn't hear no bell meme. You've been just...
He just
I feel
gets
like
knocked
every
out.
major fight is Harold gets knocked unconscious, keeping other people safe.
Yes. Every fight.
I guess I will go over to the 5, 10,
Do it.
15, 20, 25 to the screen.
Okay.
Unleash my other flurry of blows. Unless
Great.
something
As
happens.
you step outside of the silence, make a wisdom saving throw.
Yes. All right.
Wait, make a constitution saving throw. My bad.
Oh no. Okay.
Do it.
Wait.
Do it.
Con. 17?
17 fails.
No.
Go ahead and roll me 1d20. And if you roll a 20, something awesome happens. If you roll a 1, something
Yeah.
horrible happens.
We get Syrah
Oh.
Part 2.
I rolled a 5.
With a 5,
Oh!
you all watch the second Hilver steps out. He immediately doubles over in pain, looks up, grabbing at his mouth, looks at you, and his mouth is gone. There's just smooth flesh where his mouth is supposed to be.
That's normal. He was like that before. Right, guys?
Much
remember
like
that.
the hunters that you saw earlier, you just watch his lips like vanish, and he can't talk and can't make any noise. But you do still have the rest of your turn.
All right. I will continue moving
Oh.
past this acid pit at the 3 screen. And
You
roll
also
an
take
18 to
16
hit.
points of necrotic damage,
All
course.
right.
which I think might be halved for you.
Yes.
So it's 8.
Well equipped for this.
You're all like, I wonder if we still need the silence, and then watch somebody take one step out of the silence, their mouth is wiped away by flesh, and they take a bunch of necrotic damage, and you go, okay, cool, silence stays up, silence
You
stays
still
up.
need it. You still need it.
Hey, quick question. How are we supposed to beat this without silence, by the way?
You guys would have been fine.
All right, so that was an 18 to hit.
I would argue that the fight would have been a lot cooler and more fun if any of the abilities had gotten to happen. So I didn't have to just describe shooting into a ball of silence every round. All right, Hilver, what are you doing?
An 18 to hit. This is the second part of the flurry of blows.
18 misses.
Oh.
This
Okay.
creature is
Oh.
freakishly fast. As you run up to punch immediately, the two cutlass hands, while it is still holding a bead on Beige with one of these like phaser arms, the cutlass hand immediately like swings up and knocks you off course. This thing is fighting with all four arms two different people, basically.
It's parallel processing. Get out of there.
You have to run.
And I only got a 16 on my next hit.
Another miss.
And my final attack.
On
Is it
that
that
miss, it is going to use
Yeah.
riposte. As you miss, it swings up with a cutlass. 29.
Oh.
That hits.
7 points of slashing damage as this blade swings up across your chest.
All right, and I'll use my reaction to deflect attack that.
Okay. You guys are
And
watching a whole fight from the Matrix happen up in front of you. Just like 4 arms and 2 arms just in a beautiful ballet of danger.
And
It's actually full anime, like, they keep disappearing, and Harold's like, I can barely follow their movements. Like, eyes following.
and like being so like comfortable in the silence for so long and having my mouth wiped away, I am definitely running back into it now to over here
Okay.
again.
As
so
you
back to
step
the other side
back
of the
into
pole.
the silence, your mouth splits and your lips
Ha!
reform.
I'm gonna be so for real. If that didn't happen, I was gonna take Harold's turn to pull his dagger and cut you a mouth.
I
you
still have
could
my
breathe.
nostrils
That
to
was gonna be
breathe
terrible.
though. I think
True.
the nostrils though. All right.
Yeah, you've been okay.
I mean, it's
All
not
right,
bad.
that's it.
It's fine. Okay, that is Hilver's turn. Up next, the chorus decomposes a little bit. Beige, you want to drop that silence? What do we got all this
Hey!
silence around for?
You know what? Oh, that was really inspiring what I just saw.
I want to have no mouth.
It's so quiet in here.
Beach. Beach.
You'll
Beach
never
goes,
know what the Nat 20
"Dang."
does if you don't let it happen a couple times.
Oh, yeah. Beach really wishes that would happen to Harold. He's like, yeah, actually, I'm just gonna drop it.
I've got 9 HP. I can take 1.
That way I don't have to hear it from this guy, am I right?
The old ball and chain.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
Gonna keep holding strong.
I'm a dodge, I bet.
All right. Up next is the Piper. That shuddering, skitching reality is condensing down, and the figure of this massive, almost like galactic creature is condensing and collapsing. Stefan, if you interrupt my description to say it's Surat's turn, I'm hanging up the call and I'm never playing with you again. Its form shudders and begins to shrink a little bit, and you do watch it actually in space shift down one size. You get the sense that if you can just live a couple of rounds, this problem might take care of itself. And now it will be Surat's turn.
It's not gonna swing big style.
Okay. Surat's gonna
So,
just
as
swing
we
it up, big
know-
style of the galaxy.
So as we know, Surat has a +8,
Huge.
and it's 3d8 plus 11 if it hits.
Sick.
So let's see if Surat can hit the galaxy.
Go ahead, Surat.
double 16s with plus 8s on them. So is that 24?
24 hits.
24s. Double 24s.
Sorry, 24. It's the galaxy. Let's be clear.
It's condensed.
Yes,
It's
the
partially
24
condensed.
hits the swirling galaxy of light, flesh, and stars.
Listen, she'll try. She'll try anything.
So plus 22. 57 points of damage. Surratt's only going up.
57.
The Surratt stock. People got to get in.
Okay.
Quick.
This huge hammer swings into the form of this swirling galaxy, and in one of the distant eddies of its eternal flow, you swear you see a furious, gnashing face of a titanic, hulking, muscular figure, enraged. You see the distant form of Tagor Brightfall subsumed within this creature, screaming at the injustice of his weapon used against his own will. If you
Surratt
weren't
will
in a
smile.
silence, a reaction would go off, but guess where you are? In a circle of silence.
What?
All right.
We're changing our name from the bottom line to the circle of silence.
I'm leaving the company, is what's happening. Okay. Write your own scripts. All right. Is that Surratt's turn?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good turn. All right, sick. Cool.
Solid.
All right. On the Piper's turn, number one,
Can't
new
get
villain
greedy.
action, which is awesome. What did you say?
I said,
Can't get greedy for Surratt.
Can't get greedy. That is so true. Oh, wait. I need to roll a recharge. Nope. I've never recharged
Oh,
a
that-
recharge.
I got really
Is
scared
that
for a second. I
portal
thought,
still going to above it? Or did that close
Um,
when the chorus closed?
No, when the chorus died, that portal shut.
Oh, phew.
But that recharge didn't go off, which I am very annoyed by. No allied combatants on the field. Surratt up in melee. Oh, I know what it uses its action for! You all watch the form of the Three Creen begin to bend in the same way that the other did, but rather than becoming sort of bulky and muscular, you watch the Three Creen's limbs just grow long and begin to extend. You watch as their shoulders move up and another two arms, a third set, break out of the carapace, looking like soft and new, like the shell on them hasn't quite hardened yet. And it becomes
She's got
a
baby hands.
like strange kind of willowy version of the same creature that does still become large. That is the Piper's action. With their bonus action, God, they can't hit anybody with it. All right, so they don't do anything with their bonus action. Okay, that's their turn. God, that's brutal. That's tough. That's tough stuff. Okay, cool. All right. This is fine, guys. I'm fine.
That's what we're all saying to ourselves too.
Damn it. All right, cool. That's the end of its turn. Up next, Harold.
you already know what Harold's gonna do.
I don't.
Harold
Runs out of the
runs
circle?
through his allies' space, stays in the circle, but is next to the enemy.
I'm looking at roll 20 and I see a shoulder blade quite distinctly outside
If
the
you take a
circle.
look, you see where his head would be is in the circle, so he is safe.
It does.
His ears are still silenced.
I think it says for the silence spell you have to be entirely within it.
Okay, then I get within Surratt's space.
Harold's shoulder grows a new mole. He gets like a really concerning looking mole.
I gotta see my
As we all
doctor
know,
about
Harold hears through his shoulder.
Harold
Yes,
gets like a
that's where my
really
ear is.
concerning looking sunspatch, and you're all like, whoa.
that. So first
Harold
things first,
grows an ear on his shoulder.
I'm gonna give myself 15 HP,
Huge.
leaving myself 1 lay on hands,
Great.
just to use
Just in emergencies. We love an emergency lay on hand sort of extra bit.
And I'm gonna roll twice to attack with Foretold Judgment. 15 plus 9 and a 12 plus 9. So 21, does that hit?
21 does hit the wheeling, swirling hatred from the beginning of time.
That's what I like to hear. 2d6 plus 6.
This was supposed to be such a scary, serious fight.
We saw Hilver get his mouth wiped off his face.
it's
That
fine.
scared us.
It's fine.
Harold died a little.
20 points of bludgeoning damage. How's that treat you?
Pretty good.
Okay.
You actually do pass a threshold as you swing out, striking into it with a hammer. You aren't damaging this creature in any way, shape, or form. Neither did Surat. But you do watch that sort of cracking of reality seem to be maybe like emboldened, if you can use that term, and the creature again is reduced in size. It is now about the same size as Surat, this like wheeling form in front of you. Good job. Okay.
Veda starts growling. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Vader's growling real loud.
That is Harold's turn. At the end of Harold's turn, the Piper is going to use their second villain action, Shriek. They vanish and just reappear somewhere within 30 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. They... 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. They reappear sort of conveniently outside of the melee range of the blue circle.
That makes sense.
They vanish and reappear. And somehow you see a thunderous burst of sound when they do that seems like it would be devastating and have additional effects, and it hits the sphere of silence and nothing happens at all. Can't pass through it.
This thing must not know about my boy Lemon.
About 29 different attacks hit Beach. I think it's kind of suspect. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
All right, that's Lemon's turn. Lemon, what would you like to do?
How is the 3-Cream looking? I know he's looking gangly, but
The 3-Cream
Blood-wise.
looks absolutely fine. Completely fine.
cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do both my attacks at the biblically accurate Angel Galaxy.
Okay,
Yes.
for sure. Might be able to see better
first-
from outside the circle of silence.
Lemon's got good eyes from the shooting. First hit is going to be a 28 to hit,
Hits.
and the second is going to be a 24 to hit.
Hits, but it's close.
That's going to be first one. 21 points of damage.
21 points of damage.
Second one.
Your ability to take something from perfectly fine down to pretty damn injured. It's just strong.
16,
I have a drink over here.
19.
I have a 19 to hit.
No, 19 points of damage.
19 points of damage, okay.
For the second hit.
Still up, very badly injured now. You have taken this 3-Cream right down to the other side of the mouth.
Oh, I swung at the biblically accurate galaxy.
Oh.
My bad.
Okay. All right. Let me look at how much your damage was again then.
And you kill because
No.
it's world.
You are doing more damage. You are watching that reality kind of crack around the outside. You do not pass a threshold.
Okay. It does have disadvantage on its next attack.
It doesn't have any attacks.
It still has disadvantage.
It has a lot of bad stuff it can do. Attacks are not on the list.
And I'll reload.
Okay. Lemon reloads. It is the 3-Cream's turn. I mean, apps, just fuck this, right? 3 Cree moves just a little to try to like interpose itself, not knowing that Lemon has Deadeye. Sharpshooter. Steps into the silence and is going to... you're never going to believe this. It's going to shoot at Beach 2 times.
I don't know.
And Beej is not warded anymore.
Okay. 24 to hit.
Whatever you're doing.
24 hits.
28 to hit.
28 hits.
You know, I think since Beej is in prison at the whatchamacallit, at the mafia place, since he's like trying to aim at Beej over there, it's probably like out of the 3 Queens range, right?
Yeah, great. So 17 points of damage to Beej from the first attack.
Okay, 3 health left.
Oh no.
All right, I hit with both.
Just feeling good.
Yeah, maybe if you roll off the table and you don't count the die.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
15 points of damage on the second.
All
Hey,
right.
please don't kill Beach. Please, please, please.
That's
Whoa,
the-
155.
That's the first time I think Beach has gone unconscious.
Beej goes
Yeah.
unconscious.
Yeah.
Yep.
The silence.
It's not cute
Drops.
to go unconscious, you know.
Are you
It's a little
deafened?
odd.
Yeah. Are you deafened while unconscious or no?
No.
Oh.
No.
So the silence
In the chair.
drops as Beej dies. No, Beej is knocked unconscious. And you all begin to hear this sound kind of creaking its way, digging into your minds. Okay, that is the 3 Queens' entire turn. He has 1 HP left.
Whoa.
So just for comedy, Michael, that is how close you... he would have had one... When I thought you shot him, he
Yeah.
would have had 1 left
He
at the end
would-
of those
Oh
shots.
my god.
He's fine now because you didn't shoot at him, you shot at the other guy.
Yep.
So for the record, this would have happened either way.
Yep.
Okay. That's his turn. Just had a power flash. Hopefully that doesn't go anywhere. Hilver,
Hmm.
what do you do? Oh, first things first, Hilver, con save.
All right. That's another fail, I think.
Okay.
12. Yeah.
12 fails.
Fail. Yeah.
The worst damage I've ever rolled in my life. 6. You take 6 points of damage from such... I need you to know, unfathomable that that's what you take.
Wow.
You take 6 points of necrotic, halved to 3. All right, roll a d20.
All right. Wait, which d20 should I choose this time? An 18.
An 18?
Yeah.
Awesome. You all watch as the strange warping energy of this creature flows over Hilver's form, and Hilver's hands start to grow long animalistic claws. You now have a +2 to attack and damage rolls with your melee weapons. So you got for the record, that top little corner of the warps that you can get are good.
That's really useful for...
Kind of great. You just traded 3
Hilbert
damage for doing more
specifically.
damage. Like, that's kind of great. All right, cool. Now you have the rest of your turn.
All right. First off, using a flurry of blows.
Sorry we're going long. I didn't think we would be.
And since these new hands look rather sharp and stuff, I'm going over to Beej and like pressing like my giving like a healing kick
Don't do this.
to like Beej's hip or something.
Don't do this. Hilver.
And
Hilver.
Beej heals 9
Just
health.
attack the galaxy or something, Hilver, please. Dear
So-
God.
So that gives Beej 9 health. And
Beej wakes
then
up. Not like this.
that's fine.
Not again.
His antithesis.
15,
How much was
20,
the HP?
25. 9.
9.
You eagle-eared
25.
listeners will know why this is so shitty
30.
for me.
35. 40. Well, wait. I should...
It's fine if I ever see you
30.
in person again. It's on site.
Oh. Oh. And I'll come over to this thing and launch my other, the flurry of blows against it.
Okay.
And
After he
that
gave
is-
you a gift of better punches, you're gonna punch him?
Cruel.
Yeah. That's a dirty
Fake
20 to
friends.
hit.
Dirty 20 does hit.
All right. That's 8 force damage.
8. You pass a threshold. It condenses down again. It is now the smaller than many of you.
All right. And I will throw another punch to hit it for 22.
22. Okay. You do not pass the threshold.
22 to hit. Sorry.
Oh, 22 hits.
Okay. And I keep on rolling like ones on these d8s. So that's 5, 6, 8 force damage.
8 force damage.
Again.
Okay.
Yeah. And last one.
Last one.
19 plus 29 total, I guess, to hit again.
Yeah.
That's 12 force damage.
12
And
force
I will
damage.
Use a.
You're not gonna try to stun a fucking galaxy, are you?
Are
you about to say that out loud?
Spinning.
Adding another d8 of necrotic damage.
All right.
In case.
I feel like Harold has gotten outclassed in terms of damage pretty hugely between the monk and the gunner in the party. here.
Lemon puts out so much damage that I continue to think that something must be going wrong behind the scenes. That it must be something must not be right.
And that's 13 necrotic damage, and it's poisons. Question mark?
No. No. It's not poison at
Alright.
all.
Did one of its stars wink? Did one of its stars wink out? Maybe.
A solar system dies.
Yeah.
Thousands of voices cry out as they are snuffed
That's
from
a win.
existence. What was the damage? 13?
Yeah, 13 necrotic for the last bit.
Okay. The shimmering shaking around it continues to grow worse. It's at the end of your turn.
I will move slightly more just to be up in the grill of these two guys
Great.
together.
At the end of it's Beach's turn.
Yay,
It's
what's
Beach's
he gonna
turn.
Let me think 1 second what I
What
might do.
Beach, what are you thinking?
Perhaps I could maybe catch hands, perhaps.
do? Like here.
Ooh, you have to pick someone to leave out.
Oh no!
You cannot get Lemon and Hilver.
Yeah, and since I'm not all the way in it, I don't get it.
What?
Oh, you have to be in.
I assume, Hilver, that you could, like, lean.
Okay.
I
guess-
Lean in.
So, do you go for Lemon or Hilver? Who do you leave out?
I think I will leave out Lemon. Sorry, Lemon.
Okay.
The betrayal.
Just because you're just like kind of.
Lemon puts his
Back
gun to the
there.
back.
You haven't been hit yet, right?
Beach
You're
is
totally
here.
healthy.
They just
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of don't
good.
care about you, brother.
I know.
Like they're kind of like
They
ignoring
specifically
you.
care about you, Beach.
Yeah, I agree
Is
with
there
your decision.
Okay.
Anything else on your turn, or just that? You
You
could have done a bardic inspiration before putting up the silence. Just
Really?
putting that out there.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
think
a bonus
bardic
action,
inspirations.
it's not a
I
spell.
think you don't need to hear a bardic inspiration.
You
Is it
do.
like
It's a
dormant?
creature that can hear you within
I
range.
guess I can do it
You'd think it'd
Oh.
be you could give like a flirty little wink.
Yeah, I would think so.
A flirty
Wizards of the
little-
Coast
There's
get on
literally
that.
dance bards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'd be able to hear you.
so
Well, wait, no,
You
it
just
says
train.
as a bonus action, you can inspire another creature within 60 feet of you who can see or hear you.
That mine says that can hear you.
Do you have legacy?
Really?
You got 2014.
I shouldn't. We're all 2024. That's
Here's
just the
the
only thing
link.
that comes up on Beach's page.
We can rip this up
Is
quick.
Beige a legacy bard?
Shouldn't be.
Bardic Inspiration. As a bonus action, you can inspire another creature within 60 feet of yourself who can see or hear you. Congratulations, you have just found an issue with D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond, get on
You
that.
should probably report it to somebody.
So yeah, you can give somebody bardic inspiration. Who do you want to give it to?
Can I be so for real?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Who needs this? I'll give you a kiss. I'll kiss you.
Let's
Who's
see.
the next person? It would be me. I'm the next one up.
Okay, I'll kiss you.
Yeah, no, the next one up is the Piper, and then it's Harold. And then it's Lemon.
I'm the next one who Beach would give bardic inspiration.
Now hear
to.
me out. Beach
Well,
can. Beach could. Give bardic inspiration to the wheeling vacuous galaxy. Just to know what it's like.
Outclass
even,
it.
right? Just to know what that's like. Could be fun.
Technically possible. So you're gonna give it to me,
Yeah, sure. I suppose.
and that's it.
Okay. It is the Piper's turn. On the Piper's turn, I mean, it's got to try to get somebody, don't it?
Probably not Harold or Beach.
Oh, wait. First, I need to roll to see if its ability recharges. Holy fuck. It does.
It did?
Oh no.
Wow.
Oh no.
A 6 on the recharge. It shifts, and yes, it will take an attack of opportunity.
It's wolfing out.
There it would be able to see Lemon. Go for that hit. If you do,
Alright.
let's see, how much damage would you need to do? Well, I'm not going to tell you. It's not a very high number.
300.
I got a dirty 20 to hit.
Dirty 20 hits.
Alright.
There's a slim
And-
chance.
I think the Hand of Harm is only once per round, so I don't think I can actually... Yeah, once per turn. Okay.
Per turn, you're good.
Yeah.
Can it be done as a part of a... Is it an attack action, though? Is it something you
Hand of
can
Harm.
do
Once
as
per
part
turn
of
when you hit a creature with an unarmed strike and deal damage.
Yeah, sure. So that would work.
Alright. Cool. Alright.
Do you
so
get additional damage for the claws you have now, or is that additional?
I think...
Plus
Well,
2.
the silence
hits.
is up, right? So it's gone.
Oh, yeah, you're back in the silence, so they go away.
Yeah. And I rolled another one on the d8, so that's 6 force
Yeah.
damage. And I'll pick a different dice to try and roll. 9 necrotic damage.
Okay. Not enough.
Alright.
It's close, though. All right, it shifts, and it turns its baleful attention on Lemon. Lemon.
Money.
I need you to make...
Seen this coming.
I've done nothing but kindness.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
This is not make or break it, but it will put you in a very bad situation very quickly.
Wisdom's not Lemon's best. That's a 12.
A deep failure. A vacuous failure.
Lemon has +0 to wisdom saves.
Lemon. All of a sudden, the field around you changes. You are not down in the pit of this place. You are... You tell me, what is Lemon's, like... What's the happy place? What's
The
the
happy
perfect
place?
place for Lemon to be?
Glint's wake with his family.
You look around and you see the beautiful areas of Glint's Wake, still a little weathered, still lived in and beaten, a place that you are proud of because it has survived. And about, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, about 20 feet in front of you, on a very specific path, because it's not going to have you walk through the silence, you see a member of your family, just like waving you to come outside. Just like, come on, like yelling across the space, and you feel just perfectly compelled to go to it. And we'll see what becomes of that in just a minute. I will say definitely all watch as a like shimmering field of pink light starts to swirl around Lemon. Harold, you are up.
Yeah, time to do some clobbering. Harold is going to...
Lemon's
First I
up
gotta
next, and
move-
if Lemon's turn comes around, things might get pretty weird.
Moving Strahd out of the way. Yeah, Harold's running. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. If I drag Lemon into the silence, do I have any reason to believe that he'd be okay after
The
that?
question is the action of charming what requires a creature to be able to see or hear? To be able to hear, or is it the effect of the charm? Roll an Arcana check.
Okay, this is where all my wizardly studies are gonna pay off. All that time dreaming about the wizard's robes. An insane roll. I don't know if I have any bonus to it. I don't. I have a -1, so I get an 18.
An 18 succeeds. I will let you take back your movement. He is already ensorcelled.
Ah.
The casting
Alright.
required him to be able to hear. Everything after that is already done. So if you would like to not have moved, you can do something else.
Yeah. Has the 3 Kreen taken more damage since...
Not really, but I will say, you have seen that damaging the Piper and passing those thresholds seems to like progress it being forced out of this reality, and it has taken a fair bit of damage. It would just mean risking one roll.
It would risk a little more than that because I've only got 40 feet of movement, and that would get me just there. Unless I walk through the sludge.
The 3 Kreen is larger than you.
Okay, so I'm gonna sneak by that way. Whoops. I step out of the orb of silence.
Okay.
and I
Make a
approach
wisdom
the
saving
back.
throw. And succeeding would be good. Oh wait, con. So this is actually probably better for you.
That's a natural 20 plus 5.
Natural 20 plus 5. Okay. How much HP do you have right now?
24.
Oh, you're fine. I thought you had low HP right now.
No, I gave myself the last of my lay on hands, except for 1 point.
24 halved to 12. You take 12 points of necrotic damage as you step outside. Roll a d20 for me.
Alright. That is a 17.
with a 17, you get something that Harold cannot use. Oh wait, I guess you could use it in theory. Harold, for just a moment, you feel the synapses of your mind firing at an incredible pace, and everybody else does watch Harold's head do the whole like mega mind cranium expansion. Harold, if you had any spells that required a spell attack roll, you would have advantage on those.
Can I cast
Why are you guys
Fireball one
rolling
time?
over fucking like 16s or higher on this so much? It's infuriating.
Can I roll 1 fireball?
What? No.
Ah. Alright, I'm gonna roll my regular attacks.
You could use your hammer to like scoop the acid out of the pit, maybe.
What?
13 plus 9, 22.
22 hits. Okay. This is for the meat and potatoes. Roll good.
Alright, and then the other one was like a 26 to hit. That was
Okay.
the low one. So it's gonna be 2d6 plus 6 twice. 6. 6 again. 1. So 6, 12, 13, 14, 17, 17 plus 12. 29. And I'm going to use a Divine Smite.
Okay.
And that's D8. 33. 38 damage total.
So another 9.
Yeah.
You pass the last threshold as you are sprinting across the distance with the knowledge that as you swing your hammer down, you are enforcing your reality and banishing this creature away. Tell me what it looks like.
Harold is so disgustingly covered in blood and sweat and grime here, and he looks at his friends, most of which have also been through a pretty terrible experience, and lingers for a moment on Lemon, seeing Lemon like vacant. This is the only chance that Harold has, so he swings down, sending out a quick prayer, and just cracks. The first time he can see like the idea of a face in the swirl, that's what he aims for.
Okay, you see countless faces cascading into the distance, hidden in the swirl, and as you hit, it spiderweb shatters with that same cracking, reality-enforcing aura that is around it, until finally the spiderwebs connect, like the bars of whatever great prison it is that holds this creature beyond reality that it was trying to burrow a tunnel through here, through these servants that traded power for, although they may not have known it, the Armageddon of their world, and it cascades and collapses. And from there, we are going to move into a few brief scenes as the 3 behind you and also vanishes, gone from this reality, gone from this time to some far-flung future where it is a champion of this creature yet to pass. And we see a couple of scenes play out over the course of this. Number 1, we watch this ancient stone hammer in Surat's hands just crumble. We watch ages of time catch up to it. The stone decays and falls to pieces. The wood dry rots and turns to dust in their hands. And Surat begins to shrink down, losing their sort of heavily augmented form. Probably a couple of stretch marks to bear for this. Probably a couple of signs of what's
Some
happened.
skin.
Gonna need to go get a tummy tuck.
Some vitamin E oil.
Yeah, gonna need to be
Some cocoa butter.
gonna need to be getting some cocoa butter in there for sure. We watch the form of Surat shrinking down, somehow saved from the brink of whatever it is that would happen here. Deep in the bag of holding, we see a blade and a shield tarnish, turn green, rust, decay, and blow away into an ethereal wind, simply and truly gone. The bow cracks and shatters, the string snaps like a dried rubber band, these items unmade. Throughout, we cut to outside, where unbeknownst to all of you, your allies are holding off like, we must hold, like waves of the bow tie that are coming to save the singers down below. And we watch all of the bow tie just collapse. The entire army falling dead, unable, and literally, like dust, just decaying and blowing away in the wind. The only thing that remains are an incredible number of enchanted skeletons who begin to, like, wipe their brows and get out dustpans and brooms and start cleaning the interior, which is now very, very, very dusty. I will now ask each of you to give me a brief scene, because I do intend to run into these characters again, maybe in a home game, maybe on stream. Just cut me off a little slice of what the next little patch of time looks like. And Spencer, if you wouldn't mind changing the music to something slightly more chipper, that would probably be cool. Or I guess just pausing it if you don't want to do that. So who's up first other than Spencer?
I think-
I guess.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I guess like with the dust settled and things kind of calming down here, I guess Hilva will probably start guiding like the various like injured and stuff back to that temple of all like the fallen people, and just like as they're there like getting medical healing and stuff, like asking them about anything that they've heard about these old gods, and then like telling them like whatever he's like learned from the others about them, and just kind of like spreading the word about that, and just like getting people's like thoughts and opinions as they're kind of like resting in this spot and healing up.
Hilver is sort of shepherding people. It is funny and perhaps appropriate that the first thing Hilver thinks about is not 1 month later when he turns over his findings. It is helping these people. You attend to their many wounds, trying to heal them as best you can, and being largely successful. Some of these people that were infected by terrible diseases from these creatures are beginning to recover simply because of their destruction. It is many days of treating the injured later that we see a very brief scene of Hilver sort of attending to, looking up, and seeing the swirling color with a black spot at its center. And we just watch at the edge of the stained glass a small hairline fracture, crack in the staining, and we cut from Hilver's scene. Who's up next?
Harold can go. I already talked about how Harold is going to be retiring from his position. Maybe not with so much of going in and telling them that, but he does leave a note under his door, and somebody eventually will check that, and they'll see that he has left. He's spirited away. But what we see next is him, before he drops off the letter, is walking through a market, just looking for a cowl, a cloak, something like that. And he does see like an alchemist supply store selling their goods, and hung up nearby is a Stars and Moon wizard's cloak. You see Harold walk into the shop, the bell dings, he hands over a pouch that looks pretty full, and he takes the cloak, puts it on, and you see him in that cloak dropping the letter off saying that he will not be returning. Still plated underneath the cloak. He leaves, gets on a wagon outside of the city limits, and joins Beej on their hunt to pay off the people that need to be paid for Beej the Younger to live.
Harold sees
Fast
this
forward.
cloak of stars and moons, sort of like eye fixated on it. Almost exactly the one from your vision, to some degree, as we cut to Beej.
And fast forward, they travel, and Beej does try to come up with an elaborate story as to why other Beej, may or may not have gotten taken captive. But ultimately, he does admit to his mistakes, and he explains to other— What?
What?
To other Beej.
Not my Beej.
He does explain— Not my Beej. He explains, what happened. And because other Beej is pretty cool, he's chill, they use it as an opportunity to get closer and be honest with each other. So, yeah, but he'll always be hotter. Sorry.
Yeah,
Makes it
we
easier.
see a couple of brief scenes of the twin Beeges, not twins, the two Beeges sort of conversing and chatting in the days that follow. I have a question. Did you pay the mobsters or did you kill them all?
I don't know. That is up. That is secret.
Okay, that's a secret. We
That's
don't
up
know.
to that's an adventure that we have to
That
run.
That's an adventure we have to run. Okay, I like it. I like it. I like it.
To be revealed.
We see a bunch of scenes of Beej and Beej with Harold in the background, like a chaperone, just sort of walking around with these two siblings that are trying to kind of find
Maybe.
some way to surpass. And maybe we see a couple of the scenes earlier that we saw in Beej's past of Beej like in the corner while Beej the Younger is like celebrated. And we watch maybe a few of those scenes from Beej the Younger's perspective, and we see Beej the Younger like looking out at a crowd and seeing an empty chair because of, and we start to kind of see the two angles mixing together as we continue through the scene.
Maybe what happened was, Beej and Harold busted up in there to save other Beej, and, they were like, oh, we were gonna pay, but then they kind of see that they're just kind of real assholes. So they go on one last, crazy
Head stomping mission.
and other Beej joins in, and it becomes a bonding experience.
So write into our show if you want to play Beej the Younger.
Yep,
let us know.
right in. We're taking applications. Good stuff. All right, and Michael, cut me off a slice of lemon, I guess.
Yeah. So you find Lemon back in Glint's wake, along with our new, I won't say it's our newest friend, but a friend made along the way, the old man mage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the
Zariak
original,
the
our
Seer.
oldest, newest friend.
Yes. Yes, Zariak. He's in Glint's wake, and they're both kind of tampering with the relic that Lemon made off with, the thing that makes all the items return. They're kind of tampering with it, and mostly they're trying to write a rune on Lemon that'll make it so he bamps back on a certain interaction.
Very cool.
And I think with the last scene, you see Lemon fade out and fade in. Smile. It worked.
we see that moment. I like it. All right. And then we cut and we see a couple of different scenes. Sort of playing out in kind of rapid succession here. Let me unclip my stuff here so that we can know. I need to check a couple of my ancient names I haven't said in many moons.
Your tome of forgotten knowledge.
We do. Up in the bows of Edifice, we see the form of the massive ship. We see the Viscount Faraday Malaran ship returned, and we see a scribe talking to Kernau, and like, so take it from the top one more time, as Kernau has explained about 5 times how they came back into possession of the ship, why returning it should actually get us citizenship, like pitching the same thing again. And like, this very tired looking scribe like looks back at, clearly just like a dockmaster who goes like, just let it, and he goes, yes, you have citizenship. And they walk in, and they have just been allowed into the city. And we see a fatigued-looking Surratt alongside them, having made their way up to Edifice, maybe the only place that they have a chance to be safe from the long reach of the Emerald Tower. Deep in the rail cars of the train, we see a very strange figure. We see an old man, but not as old as you might think. We see a man maybe in his 60s. He has a simple cloak on and is looking at a wide, long table. It's like bright, kind of brassy colored table. And on it, we see the body of L43 Acquisition's heavily damaged head having been sort of cut off at the edge. There are wires that have been plugged into L43's head that run up to this like big machine and back into his body. And we see L43's eyes which flicker on. And we hear an old voice go, well, I suppose you'd better start at the beginning. And we cut from that scene. In a very brief scene of a bookstore where the last ride of Calhoun Miller is slid onto a shelf. A book that somebody in there decided to report and gave him probably a kinder ending than he deserved. Putting a little bit of a spin on that. The next person we see is Calroy Elmroot, our elven friend. He is still getting used to these strange modifications. We catch a couple of scenes of him practicing, training, getting better and better. And then occasionally it switches to scenes of him at a desk. And we see like dozens of crumpled pieces of paper on the floor. And we see him again. And with a quill in his hand, and he's like, my fire. Like trying to compose a poem to mail to Beige across the distance. We watch somebody who's trying to write a 25-word poem so that it can be sent via sending and is having just a bastard of a time getting it done. And then we see 2 final scenes. Deep in the heart of the Life-Woken Empire, we see a large guards garrison that is nested in a forest dense with trees. We start with just a normal sort of patrol making their way around, but they are skittish, eyes constantly darting up into the trees and around. one of them sort of turning to the other to make some kind of awkward chit-chat, looking around, and then suddenly one of them is just gone. Our camera cuts a little bit, moves back, one of them is gone, the other turns just in time to stop and look up. And we see a creature made of twisted vines clung to the side of the tree. One of its arms, which is made of these long, kind of prickled vines, is wrapped around the throat of his compatriot. And just as he goes to yell, we just see a claw reach up through the middle of his chest. And behind him, we see the form of Sorvin, this deer skull, just leers around to the side. And this guy just goes, "What are you?" as the hand rips out through the back. And we cut from that scene. And we catch our final scene. On the rainy, cramped, damp streets of Leviathan, the floating city, we watch a cracking, sharp-edged break in reality open about 5 feet off the ground, and falling out of it, whack, we see a guy in a suit who, falls, and a violin and bow thunk, land on the ground next to him. He cracks his back and stands up, picks up the bow and the violin, catches his breath for a minute, looks around, straightens up, cricks the fiddle into his neck, and walks into the street, beginning to play. And that is where we will end The Party Makes Things Worse, the Song of the Reliquary. Thank you all so much for watching. It was supposed to be 12 episodes. It ended up at 20. I think we're going to call that a win. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you for playing Wizards of the Coast. If I ever get my hands on the guy who designed the silence spell, you are going to need a new spell writer. If I ever get my mitts on that fella, we are done for. This is, of course, for legal reasons. All a joke. For legal reasons. All right. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you on the next one. Peace out.